All right, so this is Life is Full of It.
Why do you start so fucking like, life's
Because
full of
it's
it?
different energy than best there is.
I'm actually feeling the energy today, so.
Well, no, it's a different energy because
I
it's us
guess.
chilling and talking, and anyone could jump on and
I
just
feel like we get more argumentative on this one than the other one.
Well, yeah, because other one we're
This is where we
delivering news with some opinion. This is our straight opinions where people think I'm a bigot and evil.
Oh yeah, it's me and Ernie, and we're here with
Rudy's here, who's
Rudy.
been on before. He's been on the one
Rudy
about
Tootie,
letting your guard
Rudy
down.
Tootie Patootie.
Declan, who's been on a couple as well. It's interesting. So
That's a great. That's great, Bridge.
what brought me to it is
To what?
to what I was going
to
bring
some
up to
might
you.
say a revelation, divine intervention, Ernie.
If this shit would fucking play.
What are you doing? What's wrong with you, man?
I'm not working right now. I don't know. These things aren't really. Oh, do you know why? I think that my volume's off. Is that why? Nope, doesn't matter.
What the fuck? Are you trying-
Logan Paul. I don't give a shit about
Oh,
these
he's
people.
talking about the religion thing.
But yeah, dude, one of his boys on there, and all his people aren't fucking shit. But I just thought it was crazy because
I mean, we ain't fucking shit.
no, but
What did he say?
they really aren't shit because I would literally throw down with any of them and not think they're cool, not want to autograph.
What did they say?
I'd fight them.
What did they say? Ernest D. Enriquez.
People were like blowing
Social
up.
Security number 697238445.
Yeah, you just know it off the top of your head.
I don't.
People were blowing up Twitter today because they're like Logan Paul's going to get himself canceled again, and
Oh no.
the WWE's going to drop him.
Yeah, because the WWE has never had any controversy with religion or anything. It's not like Vince McMahon called out God or anything.
But he was openly mocking his boy because his boy was like, dude, you're my like best friend and you're the hardest person I have to deal with when it comes to religion. And it's like, you're hard on me. You think I'm dumb for having faith. You think, and he's like,
Is his friend Christian or what? Or is he
yeah, he's Christian.
Jewish, Muslim, Hindu?
He's Christian.
Because I'll be honest with you, bro. Jesus Christ fucks. Oh, God. Genuinely, I know people that hate me, that treat me better about my faith than you, and you're my best friend. So, like, one that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus. I just am definitely questioning why we have to perpetuate a belief that is fucking silly. I think it's a silly practice to engage in, and I think it deserves satire.
So
I'll be his friend. Shit.
If we pick on each other and other things, it's totally fine. Like you suck at comedy, I get that. Everybody knows that. All that stuff. But when it comes to religion, you have to tiptoe.
No, I don't.
Well, I do with anybody. And by the way, you brought up like Muslims and Jews. Dude, I sit at synagogues and talk to rabbis all the time, pick their brains. I sit with Muslim people. They're the most peaceful people. We went to Saudi Arabia.
Right? I want you to say it right now.
Who's right?
Whose God is real?
My God is real in my eyes.
Not Allah.
I don't believe that Allah is real in my eyes.
A lot of Muslims would disagree with you.
But does that mean I have to disrespect their beliefs? No. And you're so like power driven that you will mold past your friends and family without knowing.
If I say something, I've said it intentionally. Can you give an example of
one that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus.
So that was a couple clips that came out. Now,
Don't people usually say you need Jesus?
Yeah,
You need Jesus.
Do you
need a therapist.
him saying you got to tiptoe? What do you think about that?
What do you
idea?
mean?
He was saying that you got to tiptoe around people when you speak in religion, and I think to an extent you do because you're not trying to offend people.
Well, a lot of them can get easily offended by things, but like one thing I found interesting about that clip that you're playing is apparently they're saying that the Jewish, the Christians, and the Muslims have different gods. In reality,
Don't say it. Please don't say it. Don't say they're the same God.
they're
not.
Okay.
There is some.
Okay, but if you look at the definition,
First of all, let's get this on the record. What is everyone's beliefs?
You go first, there, Chief.
I'm in the air. I'm
You're
still
agnostic.
I think I'm agnostic, but I'm not sure. I'm trying to
You're
learn.
obnoxious.
I
Pick a side,
wish
fence sitter.
I wish I had faith because I think my life would be more comfortable. I wish because a lot of people just lean on that. Lean on, I'll pray and things will get better and hope for a better day. I do pray here and there. They talk to him. I found an old clip on Logan Paul while I was looking up stuff, and he talks about praying, but they said everything that guy calls him out, says everything you pray for is not praying for like God to help me, and God gives you harder things to go through. The guy was saying that's why you pray, and he was just being like, I'm grateful for today. I'm exhausted today because I know I worked hard. And he said it was all about you, and it wasn't like you were being grateful in an extent, but you're also patting yourself on the back through the whole prayer. And he's like, you can't do that. And he got mad at him. Don't tell me how to pray, blah, 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 all kinds of shit. So, I mean, I prayed way less than I ever did when I was younger. I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
J-Dubs.
J-Dubs in the house, which was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
My grandfather...
All I've ever heard is horror stories.
My grandfather still is one. But everyone in my family that has been one that is not will tell you nothing but negative things. Mm-hmm. And we were lucky because we didn't experience
wrap it up. We got to get to other people.
We didn't experience any of the crazy stuff. Like there's a girl on TikTok that does a thing where she talks about it. There's a documentary.
There's a lot of documentaries.
There's a lot of crazy, but it's weird because a lot of their belief systems I actually understand in a way, but yeah, so
that's what it's meant to. The most cults seem reasonable.
But okay, it's not celebrating your birthday, putting yourself above people makes sense to me.
Yes,
it's
supposed to make sense.
But does that make sense to you, or you think that's like no, that's crazy?
That I can understand why that would make sense to somebody,
I guess. But anyway, so yeah, so I don't know. I would love to have a faith, but
you're agnostic.
I would think I'm agnostic. But yeah.
What about you, Rudy Tootie Patootie? Rudy Cutie Pootie Patootie?
Well, I'm flattered, thank you. But I grew up Catholic, but...
Ugh, you can Catholic my balls.
Oh, my goodness.
We can offend Catholics, right? That's okay.
Well, okay.
They molest children, right?
Okay, well, I grew up Catholic.
Sorry, I'm trying to get him going.
But I converted to Christianity,
Okay.
I think... beginning of 2020, I think, or like late 2019.
So what branch of Christianity?
I'm not sure, honestly. They just told me Christianity.
So technically,
I'm assuming evangelical because that's who I was.
So Catholicism is technically Christianity.
Yeah.
It's a branch. It's like an overbranching term. It's okay if you're not like picking a faction, but you don't necessarily leave Catholicism to go to Christianity. You just may leave the structure that Catholicism brings, because Catholicism is one of the many ways to structure the Christian faith.
There are some differences in the, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But they're still under they still all
right. No, I
read
get,
the
I get what
same
you're saying.
Bible, believe
I get what you're saying.
relatively the same things.
But I'm saying, like you said, the structure. Like I fell under more of the Christian structure.
So you believe the Bible is the Word of God?
Okay, I'm a little. Hold on, I'm a little.
Give him that side eye.
You can't be a Christian without believing that the Bible's the Word of God.
There are some things,
even if it was written by man, it's the Lord of God.
There are some things that don't make a lot of sense to me in it, but I do feel like there are things that are possible in it. But I also do kind of like how Ernie says agnostic, or like that you're open to ideas, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him and I were talking about the Marvel Universe, how technically all the gods and entities exist in the MCU, kind of. Like,
yes,
I feel like that is a possibility, but I don't.
So you're a Unitarian?
What's that?
I think it's Unitarian. What's the?
Declan will lay it on you. I don't know.
I think it's Unitarianism. Can you look it up for me? Give me the general definition of it. But I believe it's a religion that believes that either all gods exist at the same time, or they're all interpretations of the same God, or gods.
Well, I think it's a possibility, but of course, as a human being, I don't know I don't have all the answers, of course. But my religion.
I would say, it's hard to label yourself a Christian in its entirety. You may be religious, but you're probably more agnostic than anything, just because you haven't settled down. Because there are big differences. They aren't necessarily all the same, and.
No, not that they're the same.
I know,
I'm saying there's many possibilities out there.
Sure, but don't you think that's kind of a cope? That's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like being, and I joke about the fence sitting and like people that are like, oh, I'm a centrist when it comes to politics. It's fence sitting. But you kind of have to. It sucks. You kind of have to pick a side.
No,
You can't-
but my side is Christianity. I do pick the side.
okay.
of
So you
Christianity.
believe
But
that the Bible is the word of
fine,
God.
we'll stop because we'll go back to it because you got to get your part.
I'm a deist. So what a deist
I'm a
is?
deist. I'm a deist.
I'm a deist. A
What's that?
deist is and it
What do you
sounds
want me to look up real quick?
it sounds Unitarianism, not utilitarianism, but Unitarianism. A deist is somebody who, and like a lot of our founding fathers were deists, and that's not why I'm a deist. And it's like one of those things you tell people I'm a libertarian. You're like, you're different, right? But I just believe that there is a higher power that set either our universe or us in motion. But it's like it's described as a divine clockworker. Somebody designed the clock, but the clock is now running, right? There's nobody who's actively influencing what happens in the world. There is somebody who's still overseeing it and can do stuff to it, but I don't believe that there's that they take an active input in life. Just that draws in the same idea that a lot of atheists have, where it's like, and I logic it differently. Is like the idea is like, oh, if there's a God, why do bad things happen? Well, bad things happen because, at least from what I can interpret, especially a deist who tends to be Christian. So especially when I interpret from the Bible, is that God tried a couple times and he failed, and then when Jesus gave up his life, it was sort of the last reset, and now God maybe has stepped away. But I'm a little bit like you, where I've done a lot of reading into the Quran and the Torah and some other stuff. I haven't come to a full conclusion about what the origin story is, but it's hard for me to sit here and not believe that there is some higher power, because the coincidences that we exist to have these conversations is a little bit.
Do you believe in a lot energies or anything like that, or do you think we're all made of energy? I mean, this is something else I read into as well.
So I don't believe I'm not a spiritualist. I don't believe in spiritual energies.
See, I'm probably more spiritual than anything, but it's just
like, I don't know if I believe in a soul is one thing.
I feel like we have to have a soul. I feel like here's my thing. I feel like we're like cars,
But is this-
a car that we have to maintain and stuff, and our soul's like the driver.
So the biggest
I
thing,
feel like we have to have something
Well,
that
you know-
makes us.
you know what I
I
wanted
agree
to-
with you. I don't necessarily think it's metaphysical, right? Because you can wish in your head to die as much as you want, but your
Right.
body will still keep living, right?
Right, exactly.
So there is this difference between the mind and the body, but I don't necessarily believe that there's a literal energy, spiritual something.
Like
we
when you
can't
die, your
understand.
last breath, it goes out of you.
Yeah, I don't believe
Goes
that.
away.
I
Were you gonna
don't
say
believe in
something?
ghosts.
What I was gonna say is when he was talking about like why bad things happen. This is something I had a conversation with someone about this recently, and she pretty much said, well, I mean, like if you look at it from a religious standpoint and a biblical standpoint, I mean, I guess in the Bible it does say that like God does promise, but he tells you like you're gonna go through trials and tribulations. Like
Sure.
like it's gonna be part of life.
Yeah, but I still think that's a bullshit.
But I'm saying like also
Okay.
when you give humanity free will, that means
And that to me
it's-
too is a big bullshit.
But I'm saying,
thing.
but
I hate-
hold on, I'm saying it can go good and bad. Like when there's free will, people are going to use it for good, but there's also going to be people that are going to use it for evil. And you might get the fence sitters, but
Why'd that bitch have to bite into the apple? God damn it! They were gonna have it sweet.
I'm saying like just in life, like there's going to be good and bad things that are going to happen. In your life.
I just hate, like I said, every time you talk about why this, why that. Well, free will. And it's like, yeah, I get it. It is free will, but at the same time, it's like it's just a cop out that why did
Do you
God give
have
free will? To an extent, we don't. But okay, so let's go back.
Well,
Unitarian.
Why?
Is that how you said it?
Unitarianism.
A person who asserts the unity of God and rejects the doctrine of the Trinity. In particular,
Oh
remember.
no. Okay, so that's a Christian person who that specifically says
So
there's
you-
one God. So Jesus is the literal
So is this,
son of
am
God.
I looking up the right thing?
No. I mean, you looked up what I meant, but I meant the wrong thing. I can't remember what the.
And it's
the
kind
term
of weird
is.
when on that clip when they were bringing up Jesus, like believing in Jesus. Which,
Believing in Jesus is whack, yo.
Well, I'm saying no, but I'm saying like that was a real person. I think what the debate is.
Is there?
Wait,
I mean,
wait.
this might sound stupid. Is there ways to prove he's a real person? Do we have enough
There's
documents?
some evidence to conclude that there was a person of the description of Jesus Christ living in Nazareth and
But the debate, the question is with all the powers that he had, and if his mother really
He's
was
a mutant.
if his mother really was a virgin when she had him. Those are the big questions. It's like, okay, did he
Are
really
those
perform?
the big questions?
But it's like the thing is like,
But
did he-
aren't as a Christian, right? You're supposed to take that at its word. It isn't about questioning.
no, but I'm saying
You
I'm saying
should-
So-
I'm saying people. I'm saying people, not me. I'm
So
saying
okay, in
people.
general, my thing that brought this to the table is Rudy always wants to talk about his religion journey.
Ernie described you as a lone wolf.
That's what he calls himself, a lone
That's
wolf.
not what I called myself. That's what other people.
Whatever he said.
Okay,
No one saw Rudy walk in a room and go, "Here comes a lone wolf."
listen.
Okay, first let me.
Listen,
gonna
no,
die.
it's more. It's no, Declan. It's more complicated than that.
So-
I don't go around and call myself a lone
So
wolf.
Rudy,
FYI.
Rudy has his journey. I have a lot of issues with death, and a lot of people think
stop believing.
people think that a lot of it has to do. Recently, people have come to me about religion.
God's
Why-
dead. I killed him.
Why I have issues with death?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't raised in a
Because
religion
God's not real.
that
And
gave
there's
me
nothing after. There's
comfort.
nothing after we die.
And I have no comfort about that either. And then
Don't worry. There's nothing after we
Declan
die.
is someone that I like. Lucas, if you ever seen Lucas on the Best There Is podcast, he's another person like Declan that I would go on and just have long rants about God and religion and stuff.
Universe, man, and what's the purpose? Why are we all here,
Exactly.
bro?
So that's why I thought this is interesting when I listened to the Logan Paul getting
Sorry,
canceled tidbit.
I gotta take a quick tangent. You can even cut this out, but I have to tell you before I forget. So the three letters for Brothers War are bro. So every time we talk about it, and like in Tyler's store, I'm always like, bro, and then nobody understands what I'm talking about, and my heart kind of breaks a little bit. I'm like, where's Ernie, bro? He'd get
See,
bro.
We need each other sometimes. That's a wrestling.
We enjoy
insider
watching.
thing.
We will enjoy watching Joe Pesci get crushed and killed. So
It's Christmas time. We're watching Home Alone.
Christmas time.
So
Is that
with
why we're talking about Christ Mass?
Christ Mass, because like I said, him bringing those things up, it is something that I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things that needs to kind of be. I don't know. I don't mind us talking about it, but like I said, the whole number one.
I just want people's
I don't-
controversial religion opinions.
I don't think that number one, you should bash people for their religion. Let them be whatever. You can have your own
Says
thoughts.
the guy who like bitches about religion nonstop.
There's a lot of issues I have, but when someone tells me what they
You
are,
never say anything positive about it.
it's rough for me. It's
He
really
actually
hard.
didn't.
I have to play devil's advocate.
He actually
so
at first
much.
he wasn't the most supportive when I said that I
Well,
converted to Christianity.
we'll get to
Rudy,
that.
first.
Rudy,
at
Rudy,
first.
Rudy.
At first,
Rudy.
no, he came a long way.
I know.
I know, but I'm just,
He told me this. I know. I was there for some of the
My
phone
thing
calls.
is, there's a lot of.
I'm just saying it. In
I've
the
dealt
podcast.
with a lot of bad people with religion.
Mm-hmm.
They use
So did
religion.
I.
They've used religion against me.
I haven't.
Or
Never.
But I'm not going to say that's for everybody. So that's again, I don't think you should ever bash that person. You could talk all you want about the overall
Who's
idea.
bashing on? No. Have we talked about Sneeko yet?
No, but you could also.
Sneeko got caught bashing.
I
Islam.
think you should. I do think when he goes, you gotta. What do you say?
Tiptoe.
Tiptoe around things. I think with people, you do that in general. Like,
Yeah.
someone that's like gay or whatever, you don't want to sit there and say something insensitive.
Oh yeah, are you gonna talk about not saying something insensitive now, Ernie? Are we gonna sit here and you're gonna tell me that you shouldn't say something insensitive?
If it's someone that I'm not familiar with and may make uncomfortable, 100%.
But if you're comfortable with them, you could throw whatever slurs you want. At
I
them.
could throw whatever they allow me to throw at them to have fun.
Are we gonna have this whole conversation?
They
again?
can. We've talked about what I let people call me, and that's the whole thing. But with Rudy, I had an issue because he was going through the process of being reborn.
a born again Christian.
Born
yes.
again Christian. When do you need to be born again?
When you're a criminal.
When you do something bad
All
or
the
you've
criminals are born
sins.
again.
Well, I'm not
We have
perfect.
all
I
sins.
have made mistakes in my life.
Okay, Rudy, what mistakes have you made?
I don't want to talk about it on the podcast.
Then you haven't made.
No, I've
then
made.
You
I don't-
haven't killed anybody.
No,
You've never done anything serious. You've never sexually assaulted anybody. You've
No.
never done any of this shit.
He's never done anything bad. He's done the worst thing. I bet you would be like masturbation or some shit.
Cursing and that.
Cursing.
No, but like, let's say I've taken my anger out on the wrong people. That
Oh,
didn't
we've all
deserve it.
yelled at our parents or yelled at the kids or yelled at
I know,
whoever.
but that or like.
But that's not something you want to be reborn for.
I know, but just in
You
general,
didn't commit a crime. You're not.
But see, what sucks and what I got mad about, it was very cult-like. They took him and they treated him like you need to be reborn. I would never do that to somebody and treat them like that
Yeah,
because
but Ernie, we all know you're perfect. You never treat anybody poorly ever.
I'm too nice to everybody.
You're too perfect. Okay, we get it. You set an
but
unrealistic standard for
I
what
was-
a human should be.
I was very protective.
Ernie, are you Jesus?
No, and
I'm
listen,
Jesus.
listen. That's another thing too. I even told them that when I talked to them. I said he's just looking out for me because he doesn't want people taking him. So I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I didn't say, oh, he's just being a jerk. I
Gave
said
you the benefit of the doubt.
no, because I said he.
Then he realized you're a cunt. So
No, because even other people that saw the post were like had an issue.
sure, from what I heard, it seemed a little sketchy to me.
No, they had an issue
Well,
with what
they-
he said. But I'm saying
This is why you should.
I defended him. I told
You should
him
go to a Lutheran church.
no,
Become
but
a Lutheran, right?
But
But
the pictures are like all their hands over him bowing down like towards the ground. you
I
know.
bow to no man, no God, no king.
And it's like you gave this person more power. Like we're not supposed to, at least far as what I've read up and stuff, we're not supposed to have someone between us and God, like Reverend, Pope, whatever. They're not supposed to be higher than us. There's no one. Like it's supposed to be
no,
you.
they weren't doing that. They were
Can
just
we
saying a
get
prayer. They were saying a prayer.
But
over
if
me.
I know, but if someone says that they could cleanse you, you're saying that that person has more power than you.
This is your interpretation of.
But he could give
Ernie,
me feedback
Ernie,
on it though.
Ernie,
This happened so long
Ernie.
ago. I don't know if he remembers
Ernie,
No, I remember.
you see things through your perspective,
through my spectacles.
and you interpret that as the universal truth.
But here's-
as that's the normal way to interpret things. You are not normal. You don't interpret things in the normal way.
I don't either. To be honest, I don't.
Is it the Alec Jones thing? Look.
Look, let me tell you guys something real quick. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of
Can't say the word.
retarded.
Can't.
I can. If Alec Jones can, I can. Right?
All right. Well,
Here, we'll bleep it. We'll
But
bleep
the
it.
thing is, though, back to what you were saying earlier, not to jump around too much. I think you don't follow a certain Christianity because
You don't fall into a certain branch. of
you don't
Christianity.
follow the word of the Bible.
Yeah,
Because
that
if-
doesn't. Then you might as well not be a Christian. It's kinda what I'm
Because
saying.
the word of the Bible is what is that what?
So let me hold him to it.
No. Because the biggest thing.
no, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
let me
I'll
hold
say
it.
the biggest-
Shut up.
High five. The biggest thing he
Well,
had.
I'll let you say something, and then I'll let him hold. me to what he
No.
wanted to
But I
say.
want to say the thing I know that you had the biggest issue with was them going against gays and
This
stuff
isn't.
like that.
This is a different group. This isn't that same group.
Don't
that
worry.
You saw in the picture.
Ernie hates gays
okay.
too, so you're in a safe.
No, I just.
place.
I
If
just.
you two want to sit here and hate gays, I understand.
No. Listen.
that.
Listen.
Just like my my cousin was
Listen.
just here a second ago.
So, the picture of the people that you saw were the ones that were actually what I call the good Christians. The other group, there was another group that was a bigger group of people that were more cult-like, and they absolutely didn't like homosexuality. They would say we love the person, but we hate the sin, which I always said was kind of stupid because I always said, well, it's like telling a colored person I love you, but I hate your
A
color.
person of color, Rudy.
Well, because
A
I'm saying
POC.
no, because I'm saying it's something.
No.
He's just-
I'm
he's just
checking
saying-
you. Okay, it's
you're
a
not supposed to-
POC. It's
you're
a
not supposed to say
person
a colored
of
person.
color. This ain't the 1950s.
You're supposed to
You
say
can't be
person of color, not colored person. He's just trying to save you from people throwing rocks at you.
What did I say?
You said colored person.
I said a person of color.
No, you
didn't.
said color.
Don't worry, we can rewind it. later
Rewind
on.
the tape.
Okay,
But it's
well,
okay. We know what you got. We know
Okay,
what you
well,
got.
I'm a minority myself, so
Doesn't mean
not-
you can be racist.
Rudy?
I wasn't being racist.
I know, but that's
Rudy,
not.
in the state of California.
I know.
You are now a
we're-
majority, sir.
Okay, well, okay,
Declan's the minority.
I do this just to get on.
okay.
you're
It's like
good,
telling
you're
a
good.
minority, "I love you, but I hate your skin color." Is pretty much what I'm trying to say. And I
that you
said,
love minorities despite their skin colors.
No, I'm saying
Wait.
with the Christians, my thing is I'm saying when you tell someone who's gay, "I love you, but I hate your
All right.
sin."
So what was the difference between the ones that you said were bad and which ones were good? What was?
So the first
What
group,
are they? Are they Lutheran? Are they different? I mean, was there?
That's your first one.
they
You
just
I don't
they
know.
never
brought
they
up.
never went under those categories. They just said they were Christian. That was it.
Oh,
Because they have
that's
to.
super sketchy.
Because they have to
Super
be like Seven-Day Adventists.
Adventists.
Sorry.
Do you want me to list them all?
Go
But
ahead.
No,
Go
so
ahead.
the difference.
Do you know them all?
No.
The difference
There's
between
there's 50 recognized ones. There's Seventh-day Adventists. There's Methodists. There's Lutherans. There's Eastern Orthodox. There's Russian Orthodox. There's Catholic, Roman Catholic.
There's quite a bit.
There's a fucking million.
What were you saying, Rudy?
Well, I was trying to answer your question. The difference between the two groups is that the first group, the one that you saw.
I was more trying to get a name like he was naming off. Like I was wondering what branch of Christianity.
Oh, I
they
thought you
were.
meant just how they were with me. But
Oh, I mean, you could explain that too, but I
Do
was
they
more.
ascribe themselves to a branch? They say, "Hey, we are this," or do they say, "Hey, we're just a Christian group on Facebook"?
they just said no. That's not how I. met
Well, how
these people.
did you meet those people?
So this is when I was going through a really bad. What's up?
Does it involve a girl?
No.
Okay.
So this was around when I was really depressed. When I finally told everyone on Facebook that I was depressed. Remember when you were telling people you're like, well, he doesn't need prayer, he needs actual help.
Mm-hmm.
This was around that time. This was when I was like really down in the dumps, and I had two friends of mine that I hadn't seen in a while reach out to me, asking me how I was doing and whatnot. And they said they asked me to come out for dinner or whatever. We went out to eat, and then they said, well, we go to this Christian Bible study group. If you want to, you're welcome to come join us. But I told them, I said, look, I have bad experiences with religion and all that stuff. I don't know if I want to do that. But they said it was totally up to me. And then it just kind of started from then. Like they were really kind-hearted to me. So basically, their way.
So is that the one you went to that you were born again with, or is that a different?
This was the born again with.
Okay.
This is the.
So what happened with the other one? Is that came after?
This came after because they still had meetings during the pandemic.
So the born again.
Uh-oh.
Where did
I
it?
know.
Uh-oh.
Where did it come up?
I bet they
that-
weren't vaccinated because those give autism, right? Right, Ernie?
Yeah.
Right?
No. When did it come up that you were supposed to be born again? Did someone just say, "Hey, you want to be born
So
again"?
this was
or
actually
did
with
you
the first-
feel?
Did they dunk you in the river water?
No, so hold on.
Time out. I'm gonna go take a leak real quick so I gotta pay like a racehorse. But
He,
when you're all done, I want to ask you a couple questions.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I got a couple questions for him.
So
My 9-inch horse kayak.
Yeah, your
oh
wiener.
goodness. So what were we talking about?
When did it occur to you? You wanted to be born again, or they tell you,
So,
"Hey, you should be born again"?
It was something that was suggested to me, but then like
Why did they suggest it? Was there something you shared, or was it something that you came up? Who's that? Jesus?
no. So how it came up? Okay, I will be honest. They did kind of bring up that they didn't want me to burn.
So did they all at one point become born again, or was it
No,
just
okay. So the people that I went, they were all born again. Like they all converted to Christianity, and
they all went through the same process?
they all gave 100%, 110% to God.
I just heard piss and wine.
So what happened was, I talked to one of my friends who's a little more like us, a little more open-minded. I talked to her like, should I go through with this? This is the one whose wedding I was supposed to go to.
Oh, okay.
So she pretty much told me what she had went through with her whole journey, and then pretty much said, well, it's totally up to you at the end of the day, but that's what I went through. And then that's when I started thinking of everything, and because throughout all this, I started seeing, this is going to sound insane, but I started seeing signs and things started happening in my life that felt like miracles.
Aliens.
With signs, I always feel like if you
movie?
want to see signs, you'll start seeing signs.
Yeah. Well,
and
isn't
it wasn't-
that,
that's
isn't,
what I
that,
feel
isn't
like.
that what manifestation is?
Right.
You believe hard enough, it'll happen, right?
Exactly. So
Maybe
I feel
it's just coincidence and you just have a more open-minded and you're more
there was things that I was
willing
starting to
see this
see, and there was things that were happening in my life that happened literally through this church and the people that were there. So that's when a part of me was starting to think,
Did you go to service?
like church, like Sunday morning.
Yeah, like service.
Yeah, from time to time, I would go. I didn't go all the
Okay.
time, but I'm saying like when I started seeing all these signs and things started happening and whatnot, that's when I finally came to the conclusion, like, there is something out there that is looking after me.
And that's when you wanted to be born again, or is that when you
That's
already,
when no,
you
that's
already
when
were?
that's when I was like, I made the decision. But
Okay.
but then like what I was trying to tell you when I first converted, when you were really concerned, like, are you sure you want to do this? Because I don't want you being like manipulated by these people.
Which now can you see that you're manipulated?
No, because it was
Because you just said that they're the ones that told you needed to.
no,
convert.
but that made me think about it. But when I made the choice to actually say
You're just paranoid.
when I
I mean, that's true though. You're like looking for
when I made the choice to give my life to God.
That's sorry, Rudy. If someone looks like they need help or something, the first thing I'm not gonna tell them is like,
Yes.
you need to do this, you need to do that.
So-
I think you need to listen to people first. That's the main thing.
Here's the biggest thing, and I hate to put my sister on blast. My sister got scammed out of a lot of money for some tickets for a concert.
Recently,
Recently.
what concert?
I can't remember who it was. It just wasn't anybody that I
Oh,
knew.
gotcha. It was me.
But no,
Austin.
but to answer your
I-
question, I'm sorry, but to answer your question, I made the decision on my own. There were factors along the way, but ultimately, I felt like it was my decision.
The signs
Here-
lined
but
up
here's
enough
the,
for you.
Yes.
here's the thing.
Okay.
So you're a mark. You're a perfect mark, actually.
What do you mean?
In terms of getting
He'll tell you.
scammed or
That's
manipulated,
what went in with the tickets.
when you, it's something you have to be very careful with. Because I've talked to Ernie before. I understand a lot what you're going through because I can relate. We're about the same age. We deal with a lot of the same issues.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
I'm 25. But yeah, same.
You're
that's
2
pretty
years.
yeah,
That's the same age.
No, that's what I'm saying. The same.
Yeah, we were in high school.
I'm
at the same
38, so
time.
yes, you guys are
Yeah.
close.
Posting something on Facebook like that is important because you're letting everybody know. But posting on Facebook that draws people that this person is vulnerable, and it sucks to say this, but a lot of people are predatory.
I know.
And they'll take advantage of you. But the thing is
Absolutely, I agree 110%.
you
yes.
have to be wary when you are at your most vulnerable. You have to be extra careful, and you got to do things the right way. I would recommend, if you could do this again, obviously you can't, is to go into a church. Is contacting people on Facebook, finding these small groups of people. You just don't know what you're getting yourself into nowadays.
This wasn't a Facebook group though. This was two friends of mine that.
But that's what I mean. Is they saw this on Facebook, right? They hadn't contacted you forever. Most likely they had seen it on Facebook and they contacted you. And obviously there's a % chance they contact you with the goodness of their heart, but you can't guarantee that.
Well, the reason why I do know now, absolutely, it was out of the goodness. I'm saying from their perspective is because they gain nothing from it. They gain nothing from me doing this.
They gain a follower though.
Yeah, but I'm
I
saying
mean, I don't know what that means.
No, but
That's what I mean.
But they
So you're
have
just not sure what the
But
end
they
of
had
that
no.
road
They
is.
didn't gain any money. They didn't. Nothing of material.
Sure,
was
but
gained.
hindsight's 20/20, right? But what I'm talking about is there's a vulnerability that comes with religion and the
But I actually so there is something that happened.
desperateness that comes with it.
There is something that did happen down the road that proved to myself that I wasn't as vulnerable as people thought I was. Which I mean, we probably can get to later in the podcast, or we probably could get to it now.
Well, I still want to ask my questions.
But
I
go
don't
ahead.
even
Go ahead.
know that.
Ask your question.
I got a couple questions.
Okay,
actually.
that's fine. Yeah,
First
that's why we're
thing
here.
is the Bible the Word of God? Yes or no? Just straight yes or no. You have to answer it yes or no. You can't give me anything. I'll let you explain
You have
afterwards.
to.
No,
You
yes,
just have
yes,
to give me
yes.
a yes or no.
Yes.
Yes, it is the Word of God.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any contention with that, or like with the issues that come with some of the other chapters that mention things like anything from circumcision to eating pork to,
Well, I do feel
stoning gay people?
I
Stuff
do
like that.
feel that. Now here's where the fence sitting side does come out, because there are a lot of arguments. There are a lot of people like experts that have studied the Bible and whatnot, and historians have said that like it's been changed over and over and over throughout the centuries. So, I mean, we're not getting the original text. We're getting what people changed over the years.
Isn't that a little bit of a scapegoat to say, right? Like
That's exactly what I said.
like
when
to
I met
settle
with
your
the
whole
coach.
religion based on something that's been reinterpreted over and over again. I feel like as a Christian, based
But I
on
do
you have to
also
believe
think-
that it's at least relatively 95,
However-
96, 97%.
However,
The
like,
word of God.
when I would hear a lot of, so there's a lot of things that I heard over the years about like with sins and all that stuff, but I noticed a lot of Christians would nitpick things. They would only pick out it's like with politicians or people who debate in politics. They nitpick things that suit what they're gonna say or what fits their narrative.
Fits their agenda.
Sure,
Their narrative. So, but like for example, like when it came to sins and they talked about being gay or adultery, but then they forget that the Bible mentions like I think 8 times to not eat shrimp. So I'm saying, okay, so you're leaving that out.
Sure.
What about that? You know, and then they're like,
But
you know, and
well,
let's
focus on the shrimp thing, right? Mm-hmm. The shrimp thing is eating shellfish, eating pork. All that stuff is mentioned in the Old Testament,
yeah,
which is the Torah. And I've talked to you before when we were talking about that person. The Bible, the Quran, and the Torah are very different books. They're not the same books. They're definitely not the same religion. They certainly don't believe in the same God. That all 3 definitions of gods are very distinct and very different. The Torah is a very old book, a very, very, very old book. One of the oldest books to ever exist. It is is it a religious story? It's a historical story, and it's a story about how not to die. They don't eat pork because pork can carry really dangerous bacteria and parasites.
Correct,
They didn't
yes.
eat shellfish for this very same reason. All these things are...
well, because
made
they say
pre-
shrimp. I was gonna say they say shrimp are like the rats of the sea, pretty much.
Well, lobsters is what they say, but yes, lobster, shrimp, same
Yeah,
sorts.
yeah.
They're shellfish.
right.
These are things that they was needed to survive, right? A lot of the other more contentious stuff comes later in the Bible when they're talking about what to do with people of other religions, you know, what to do with the pagan, all the issues that come with adultery and tax. Like a lot of the stuff that Jesus gets mentioned in is very uplifting and bright stuff. That's why everybody always talks about it. But there's a bunch of other stuff that when
Well,
the
it also says in
the
the Bible to not worship Jesus, to worship God, or at least Jesus said himself to not worship me, worship.
It also depends on the Bible too, though, right?
But go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But if you believe that the Bible is the word of God, right? Do you believe it's a direct translation, or do you need somebody to explain it to you? Or if I gave you a Bible, you read the whole thing, you could take as much time as you wanted, annotate it however you wanted.
But
you think you could understand?
But
it?
you know, so something else I thought of too is, well, this is something that you know the comedian Eddie Griffin, right?
No,
you don't know Eddie Griffin?
no.
Really?
Well, okay, so he's a comedian, but he talked about how.
I mean, I might know his face.
You probably will know his face. If you saw him.
Okay, so there's I think in a few of his stand-up comedies specials, he talked about how he believes the Word of God is written in your essence. Like he said, no one ever told you it was wrong to kill your mom. He goes, somehow you're born innately knowing that.
Yes, I know who he is.
So, like, there's that.
Thank God for Google.
He's saying like you shouldn't need the Bible to tell you how to be a good person.
Well, that's
He's not Def Jam, is he?
He's Def Jam comedy.
Yeah,
long time
okay.
ago, but that's what comes with the nature versus nurture. When we're born, do we have morals when we're born, or are we taught morals?
Well, and something else he had said
You're taught
too.
morals.
Something he had said too. So, like again, where I say there's certain things in the Bible that don't click. You know, that don't smell
But
right.
why don't they click?
Like okay, so for Adam and Eve,
Yeah.
you know, the whole thing how that started. This is Adam and Eve had 2 sons named Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
And Cain and Abel got married, and then we don't know where these chicks came from. Like, where did they come from? You know.
Sure, but that's
But then there's that, and then he says it's just like
let's
with,
let's try to talk the New Testament, because we can talk the Torah.
Well,
if you wanna
real
talk
quick.
the Torah.
Do we?
for that book Exodus
Me and you
comes from.
talk about cavemen coming before or after. Sit back down.
We're not talking about how
So,
you don't believe in cavemen.
But if you believe in cavemen, do they come before?
I do not believe
So, but then why is Adam and Eve intelligent?
Time out. I do not believe in the historical accuracy of the Old Testament. I believe the Old Testament is far more easily a book about how to live your life. All the stories told in it are all about what not to do.
So you think Adam and Eve was made up as a story?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I don't think there was. I do not believe.
I
in a little
feel a lot
religious
of the
thing.
Bible's made up to teach you lessons.
Yes, of course. But most of
but-
most most of human
Sound like you with my
literature.
dog.
So most of human literature has a moral of the story, right? Right. So that we just write about that kind of stuff.
Well, and that's
right?
what the weird thing is. A lot of these stories that came out of it have a moral at the
But
end
I mean,
of it. They're not just a story with no dumb ending
But
or whatever. They all have a moral. Don't step on the crack or you'll break your mom's back kind of attitude.
But most of these things that get told in these books are like pretty when you interpret them correctly, they're pretty reasonable ways to live your life.
right.
Like the no adultery thing, it's just it's a way to have a healthy relationship, but also back then it's a way to prevent the spread of STDs, which are a real problem. Things like hepatitis, where you didn't have cures for this kind of stuff. It would go around if you just had sex randomly with a bunch of people, right? There are like the shrimp thing, all that kind of stuff. There's expressions and blah blah blah. The other thing, major thing outside of do you believe it's the word of God? Why Christianity? Why? What do you see as the difference between Christianity, Judaism, and Islam? Like, why didn't you pick Judaism or Islam? Like, why didn't you? Is it just because that they were the first? The Christians were the first one to come out.
I'll let him think.
No. I actually no. I know the answer. I know the
Okay.
answer.
Go ahead.
So the reason why this may sound silly, but I think is because
I watched a movie
no,
and I came out.
It's called God is Dead
no. That's not.
by Richard Dawkins.
So the reason why I picked Christianity, and again, I'm not docking Muslim religion or Judaism,
Islam.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Chinese, Japanese, dirty-knees, whatever.
Wow.
That's from fucking Family Guy.
I
Give me
know.
a break.
Alhamdulillah is what they say, right?
But no,
That's-
okay. But I'm saying like I'm not docking them because I got love for them too. Absolutely.
How much of the Quran have you read?
I haven't read the Quran. I have learned well. Hold on. I've learned.
I haven't read the Quran. So
I've learned a
click
little
away.
bit. I've learned a little bit about Islam back in middle school, but it was more just how people, practice the religion. But for me, the reason why I picked Christianity is because Christianity is what led me to believe something's out there because it's what was out there for me to grab.
So you don't
onto.
think it was because they were the first ones to come to you?
So if
Do you think the Christianity preaches a sort of outreach mentality?
No, but I'm saying what happened is that, like the story I told you with my friends reaching out to me and all that stuff and having all this stuff happen, while I was going to a Christian church or Christian Bible studies group.
Okay.
That's why I was like, well, this religion is what's leading me further to what's out there.
What if your friends had come to you with Islam? Do you think you would follow the same track?
I'd give it a try.
Or do you think you'd come back to Christianity?
No, I'd give it a try. I
But
mean,
I'm not asking if you'd give it a try. Do you think you'd be in the same situation but with Islam that you are now? Or do you think you'd come back to Christianity?
if my eyes were starting to open and I was starting to see all the signs and stuff like I did with Christianity, absolutely, yes.
You think you'd come back to Christianity? Or you'd stay Islamic?
No, I would stay Islam. I'm saying if
But then what's the difference?
no, but I'm saying
Then
saying,
what's true? Which one's the
I'm
true
saying
religion?
if we reverse in like a alternate universe or whatever, or a multiverse.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if it doesn't matter, right?
But I'm saying if
Then all that matters is whoever came to you with the religion first, right? That's what I'm trying to put in perspective. Is
I think honestly,
you should go off and read. And read
I
and
think
read. Stop
honestly-
talking to people. Stop asking people about things.
well, I
Ta-
don't talk to people anymore.
I know,
about
but
it,
take a minute to read.
But
Just
I'm
read.
saying this-
It'll make you, regardless of whether it converts you to some other faith or whatever. If you read some of these other books, some of these other texts, you read some C.S. Lewis, obviously read the Quran, read the Torah a little bit. They're dense books, but try to do your best. You can find them easily online for free. Take a second to sort of get the whole grasp, and I think you might find even more of an answer than you've already found now. I think you're still in this spot where you're starting to formulate your beliefs, but I talk about this when I talk to people about magic. Some people have innate born talent and they have the drive to win, but they lack experience and information. And I think that the last thing you lack, Rudy, is information. And I think once you grasp all these other religions and how they tie together and all this kind of stuff, that everything will click even more for you.
I think
No, I believe you.
I think Rudy, like me at times,
You'll find the answer.
he is alone sometimes. And I think that's why you reached out on Facebook. You had no one to talk to. So I think you gravitate towards groups or towards a pack that will accept you.
I did. I mean,
Well, that's
I
what I'm saying.
haven't anymore.
I know. I'm just saying, I think that's where you kind of got brought in or pulled in, is you didn't want to feel alone. So I think you getting into that. So the big thing, though, for me, a big thing for, oh God, Declan's going to ruin my thing I want to talk about.
But, Ernie, do you think that the fact that religion provides a community is a bad thing?
No. I just think it should be a healthy community.
Well, how do you, Mr. Know-It-All, determine what is and isn't a healthy community? How would you know?
It's hard. It's
30,
hard.
per se?
It's hard because I think you have to hold judgment and not let God be the judge, not judge other people. So if they see you doing something they don't feel is good, they shouldn't. But so here's the thing, real quick, before Declan hops back on. So me having trouble with accepting death, my life coach was like, I introduced her to her.
Mm-hmm. Nice lady.
Very nice lady. She was saying, because I don't have some kind of religion locked in my head anymore. I used to. So I don't know
Join
where
the
I'm.
brotherhood, my dude.
So I don't know where I'm going, and that really messes me up. Even if I'm staying agnostic, it's still scary because I don't want to just die and be nothing. I don't want to be reincarnated or whatever. So with that, we met up and we had a study. No offense to the guy. He was a nice guy she brought. He came at me like a salesman and he talked to me like I was 3.
So, like, when you see the Bible makes reference to these kings and these numbers, and then if you look throughout history, you see all these. I'm sorry if this chick you listen to is listening to this, but I'm sorry, ma'am. That guy you brought in is a fucking moron. I don't know a lot. As compared to like theologians, I don't know a lot.
He
about
used
religion.
examples. There's actually I have a YouTube video that literally tells me the same thing. Clip that I could probably give to you so you can see what he was telling me.
Yeah.
Don't use history to prove the Bible. Just
About
don't. It's not going to work out.
About the goat and the way
I'll keep that in mind.
Your best argument
the
against
way the prophet saw the goat and it broke off into 3 parts, and that letter 3 meant in the future we had the 3 breaks off whatever war. He said the Bible predicted this war, and I kept saying, couldn't it be coincidence? Couldn't it be coincidence? His whole lecture, his whole presentation was supposed to be a gotcha moment of, you see, you got to believe in the Bible now because it predicted stuff. But I really feel bad saying this. I didn't fall for it, and luckily Declan was there too to hear the story with me. It wasn't something so believable to me to go, okay, I believe in all this now.
Yeah.
okay, I believe you. Jump in the line.
And that's definitely not
Give out
how
any
I felt.
time.
And it sucked because I want to feel some comfort and stuff. And the problem is something my mom said, you're looking for answers of stuff you don't really need right now. Like, you want answers to why am I afraid of this? Why am I afraid of that? It's like, just kind of accept things and go with the flow. But instead, this whole religion thing hangs over my head, and then I hear everyone else talk about it. Religion gives me anxiety.
You want to borrow my Quran? Do some reading?
I mean, I don't mind reading things like that.
Well,
I go to
might
you.
find
You mainly tell me things about the Quran.
Well,
and stuff.
you know what I wanted to say earlier.
And don't get me wrong. Time out real quick.
Okay.
There are controversial things in every religion. Okay.
Well, and that's my problem. That's why it's
Especially
like, how do
living
you
in
stick to a religion when they all
okay.
have controversies?
You grew up in a secular liberal society. You know what those words mean? You know what secular means?
secular.
It's non-religious.
I was gonna say I don't want to sound stupid.
You may have grown religious, but you grew up in a secular society. America's a secular society. It is majority Christian, but it's not majority practicing Christian.
You mean like my hand wasn't getting cut off?
Our
for stealing
our
or-
literal foundation for our government is a separation of church and state. You know, things like religion are hardly taught in public schools, so they hardly reach things like normal people. That's why there's been such a decline in religion over the years.
And people get mad if you take "God bless" away from the dollar bill.
I
or
don't give a
whatever.
shit. They shouldn't, because it's just the historical imperative of it is important enough. Fuck, you made me lose my fucking train of thought, you bitch.
Good. Going to hell.
I was talking about, what was I talking about?
I don't know. You should.
Well,
Think
you know
about
what you know what I wanted to say earlier,
Grant, I hate
which,
you.
which it is actually very controversial to say this,
Oh,
but
good. I love controversy. I love destroying people. I'm like the Ben Shapiro of best there is.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you talking about? I have a study here that says that.
I've always wanted to talk to Ben
30%.
Shapiro to an extent.
No offense,
To an
Rudy.
extent.
You'd get destroyed.
No, not to debate, just to chat with them.
I just want him to talk at me really fast.
I just
and
want
his
to. I just want
ears
to
to steam
talk
up.
about how his
No, I wouldn't want to debate with
hot
him.
wife is a doctor.
I wouldn't want to
so much
debate.
money in that.
No. I don't want to debate with him. I just
You know.
want to talk.
First
to
of
him.
all,
First of all,
I just want to talk to him. That's all.
well, that's very inconvenient of you. It's just like, ugh. Go ahead. What are you saying? Sorry. We
I
got
feel like
on.
having a conversation with him, he probably would lead to a debate without me wanting.
Yeah. He fucking. If you're like, I don't want.
I could have a conversation
ketchup
with
and
him without
fries.
debating.
I like grape soda. He's gonna go into why this other
Why, like
soda's
grape soda?
better.
Are you racist? Are you a
Why-
racist
yeah,
person?
why'd you
Why you have to go there? Why you have to go to
say
grape soda?
I like grape soda.
Why couldn't you just go to orange? Because orange is a very good fruit and it comes from other things, and you should think about that. And
It's
we
very
have
Christian-
bananas.
It's very Jewish fruit.
But
Yeah.
bananas and atheists, people hate it because a banana fits in your mouth perfectly. have you seen that with Kirk Cameron, where the guy's like, the atheist is
I have a
enemy,
buddy who's an atheist.
a banana. He's like, see this? Atheists can't fight against it. It peels perfect for us. It fits in our mouth perfect. And I was like, you know what else fits in our mouth perfect?
Cock, which is also described as not okay. in the
Okay, so
Bible.
this is
yeah.
what-
So would you ever let a girl suck your dick?
yeah.
That's against the rules of the Bible.
I know. Well, hold on.
See, bad Christian. Okay, I have destroyed all of
Christian.
And
religion.
why do you think I got
Religion.
called what I got called? But
You don't think all the motherfuckers weren't getting their
cock?
dick sucked?
I didn't get called a cock.
Anyways, you're saying something that I interrupted you with Ben Shapiro, or we interrupted you.
Bitch beer. Hi.
So
The left wing
this
has
is
been
this is what I wanted to say earlier, but I know it's
spit it out.
Oh yeah, it's controversial. It's coming up.
Controversy. Kabatsu.
From research and people that I've talked to.
You're bisexual.
I swear to bejesus.
No, go ahead.
I believe
You're
that
trans.
that the Christian Catholic religion,
Which is it, Christian or Catholic? Huh?
All of them.
them, okay, Christians, Islam and Judaism, I believe, all worship the same God. However, because I looked up the definition of Yahweh. Isn't that the Jewish?
That's Kanye West's religion. I'm joking.
Okay, that and Allah. And I looked up the definition of what it translates to.
Yes, Allah translates the English word for God.
Well, no,
So does Jehovah.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
these are other languages.
Because
They don't mean the same.
I even asked people who are
Didn't you have to learn how to speak Farsi when you converted the Muslims that were actually believing in the moon god? I ain't going anywhere near that one.
What I was gonna ask was, when those people that converted you, do they believe in gay people are going to hell?
I don't believe in gay people. They don't exist.
They probably
They're
did,
not
but
real.
but the issue.
How does it probably? You should know the religion and their views.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying.
Are
They,
you
I'm,
in or are you out?
Well, if you're gonna bow down and let
Okay,
them
listen,
bless
listen.
you,
Don't say bow.
bow down.
Ernie!
I'm here.
Gab the wall.
So this is. They did. I'm positive that they did, but here's
They
the
did
thing.
what?
So do you believe gays are going to hell?
No, absolutely not.
But that means you went and sacrificed, bow down,
See?
let them.
See?
Hold
You sound
on.
like
That's
J-
not
you
the
sound
correct
like-
answer.
You sound
Hold
like
on.
Correct answer.
Ian McCall.
Correct answer. I believe as a Christian, if I were you, I believe the correct answer is it doesn't matter what I think.
But I was.
It doesn't.
I was
It
gonna
just
say.
doesn't matter what
okay,
you
but
say.
before you guys went in, I was
Only
gonna say.
God can judge me.
Hold on.
What color is your Bugatti?
My goodness,
What
guys.
color your boot guy?
I was gonna say, before you guys went into this, I was gonna say, I personally don't believe that they are going to hell just based on the fact that they're gay. However, it is not my place to say as a man that they're going to hell
See,
or
if
going
you're
to
gay,
heaven.
you're not going to hell. But if you've gay sex and you cross the line,
No.
sodomy's a no-no.
But this is.
Give to Caesar, unto Caesar. No, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Render unto God
but
what
the
is God.
issue
That's
with
nothing to
this,
do with what we're talking about, but I just like that line. Sorry.
the issue. No, you're fine. But the issue
I know, fuck you.
that I had with the second Bible study, the group that I had issues with down the road, at least certain
So
people.
where did those people go? Your first ones, the ones that
I still have
When was your first?
But don't lie. A lot of these you went to because there was girls in these groups and stuff.
No, the first one, no. That's not why the first one.
Y'all can't see the video, but Ernie just gave him a damn. Are you sure?
You fucking me face?
Ernie.
You got it. You got it.
Are you shitting me?
No, because we've talked about girls being in the groups.
Okay, but you're not letting me finish. I'm saying.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
No,
the
you're trying to
first-
put him on blast for being a simp. He's trying to be like, I'm an
I'm
alpha
not a-
male Chad.
No.
And I'm here like Sigma grindset, yo. I ain't about that beta, that alpha shit, bro. I'm about making money. I don't usually hit women, but I hate women.
Sure.
What color is your Bugatti?
Which one?
Which one?
But my thing is, though, I think...
No, listen, that's not.
Go ahead.
This is what I was trying to say. The first Bible study group. So, actually, the first Bible study group I actually was part of was in college. But that it didn't lead me anywhere. I tried to, like, give it a chance, but it did nothing for me.
What'd you think about... Would you consider joining the papacy?
What's that?
That's the Catholic...
No, I've already made my decision of what path I'm taking.
Okay.
But no, but
Are you, time out,
Wait.
Are you becoming...
So what's your decision right now?
yeah, what are you doing?
No, but I was answering your
Make up
question
your
about
fucking mind.
the women and stuff.
Oh, no. Sorry. You were just telling him I already made my decision. I was
Don't
like,
worry,
what?
Ernie gets no bitches.
Yeah, I know. Hi, honey.
She's not here.
Yeah, she is.
No, she isn't.
Yeah, she is.
No, but this is what I
Poof,
was.
like a fucking witch, she'll show up.
I can't do it witch laugh.
This is what I was trying to say. I was trying to say when I first joined, actually after college, when I first got back into Bible studies and all that, it wasn't for women. It was for myself.
It's for Jesus.
So, no. Okay, so the third one, I didn't.
it wasn't even a little bit for the women.
Well, the third one that I went into, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't think it was.
That was Rudy's cock, by the way, guys.
I didn't
Banging
think
that
it was,
table.
I didn't think it was gonna be as big as I, because so they didn't tell me how many people were gonna be in this Bible studies group. The dude that told me, oh, you should come study with us, sometime. He didn't tell me how many people were gonna be in this group. When I went in, that's when I was caught off guard how many people were there, and the type of people that were there. That's what threw me off. Now, when I
walked
went,
in, everybody's just butt ass naked, just going to town on each
No,
other. It just
no,
turns
no,
out to
and
be
of
a
course-
weird
A
religious
Goat full
orgy.
of blood in the middle. Like, what kind of
Now,
church is
now,
this?
Summon Satan or some shit.
Now there were attractive women in this Bible study, absolutely, and yes, it did
Yeah,
make
but
me.
she couldn't even touch him till marriage, right? Do you believe no sex before marriage?
Well, it's too late for me now.
So you just see here. Okay, here's
No,
my
but
biggest
you didn't,
issue.
but you guys did. Hold on, this
Go
is the
ahead.
issue.
Okay.
I'm trying to say
I fuck the bitches. I don't give a shit
No.
whether you were in there about
No,
girls.
there was-
I don't care. I really don't. What I
no, because Ernie was asking me.
he
I
doesn't
was-
care. He's just trying to be a fucking shitter. He's just trying to get you riled up.
I'm not getting riled
I'm
up.
not- I'm just. I'm,
No, and
I'm
I'm
asking
trying to-
normal questions.
What I'm trying to say is that. What I'm trying to say is that there were women I was attracted to in this Bible studies group. Absolutely, and did it did.
I mean, and that's human. You can't blame yourself for that. But I was just saying that I know.
Only God can blame you.
But
I
for
know
the most
for a
part-
fact, though, that would be something that would be like, yeah, I don't mind going to this study because I get to look at this girl and that girl. It helps that situation.
Yeah, but isn't that sinful? Isn't that like
I-
defeating the purpose?
Right, I
Maybe
believe-
it's because you're a weird pervert that you have
Maybe.
that everything. Because you even admitted earlier. Well, I'll spoil the continuity, but we recorded
But-
an episode of BTI or of the Best There Is podcast earlier, and Ernie was fucking saying that even he responds if anybody talks about a woman, whether she's hot, attractive, ugly,
I look
or
at
whatever,
I look
disgusting,
at
gross,
the gross, the hotness. Yes, it's
yeah,
bad.
it's bad. Okay, you are. I joke about Andrew Tate being my internet daddy. He is you are Andrew
God.
Tate, my dude. You are what Andrew Tate preaches to. The lonely, sad guy who gets no bitches.
Poof.
What, your wife appears?
Yeah.
What did you call me? Oh, shit.
She didn't see me.
But
I'm paranoid now. I'm like, where is she?
my whole thing though is what I was trying to get to is what this isn't supposed to be the Rudy podcast, but I want to know what are you saying?
Welcome to Rudy Cast. The Rudy
What are you now? Because you're like, I already figured out from far as what I know is you're not really anything right now.
No, that I'm
Do you plan on picking a denomination?
doing what?
Picking a denomination.
What do you mean?
Problem is you don't even know what
Do you want-
denomination is.
Do you want to be a Mormon? Do you want to be J-Dubs?
No, I'm a Christian.
That doesn't. So the problem, Rudy, is when I talk about fence sitting, it's referring specifically to agnostics and people that are Christians. It's more complex than being a Christian. And it sounds really fucking gatekeepy, but that's the truth of it. People who say, "Oh, I'm spiritual," you're on that equal. If
Welcome
I
to
have
my
a personal
party.
relationship with God. Yeah, I get it.
No, I'm Christian.
That's not a thing. You can't just be Christian. I'm a Christian too. I grew up Lutheran, though, and I'm not even a Christian by like belief anymore. I'm a Christian because that's how I was raised. I was baptized in the Lutheran Church. I have personal records inside of the Lutheran Church system. That's just what happens when you're part of a religious community. When you're part of a denomination, things you're tied to this actual community. Whereas people are going to look at you on both sides. People who are atheists and people who are religious are going to look at you as sort of this weird black sheep anomaly that sort of kind of loses credence. And it sucks to be told, "Oh, you have to pick a side." If you don't want to pick a side, do some reading. That's what I'm saying. Find the reasons that you believe what you want to believe.
I did my reading.
Instead of just
I did do. Not okay. Not as much as you, but I did do my reading.
It's not about as much as me, Rudy.
No, but
It's
I'm saying
it's about that there are some things that I.
Okay, but I'm saying
I need you to answer.
I did my reading.
Okay.
And the experiences that I went through and whatnot, and I want to be. I'm Christian.
How would you describe yourself? What would you say as a core tenet of your belief system?
I believe that there is a God out there.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about.
When
we're talking about denominations, there are, of course, belief systems, right? Certain denominations have an idea of the personal relationship with God versus the communal relationship with God. Catholics focus on the communal relationship with God. There's different.
For me, it's personal. It's personal.
Yeah, just saying it's personal isn't what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you and God. I'm talking about when I talk about some focus on personality. It's about someone in the community's personal relationship with God. You're still in a community. You can't just being by yourself. You can't really call yourself a Christian, because part of being a Christian is being in the community of Christianity. You can believe in the Bible, but really being a Christian is a whole other animal, at least in my eyes. And a lot of people are going to give you this pushback on both sides because you haven't.
I've faced the pushback and the backlash already.
So what was the backlash that you got?
For me, it wasn't what Declan's saying. What the backlash for me was the fact, and again, this also doesn't sound very Christian, and this is why I got a lot of slack, is because I stood up for gay people. I stood up for people of other beliefs. I've stood up for people who were.
But if you believe in a Christian God, you believe those people are going to hell. Otherwise, you're not a Christian.
I was gonna say, wouldn't that make you not a Christian then? If you are against what the Christian?
No, because I believe.
So
you don't have to even fall into one.
So what?
I'm trying to answer your question. I'm saying
what a hard thing was for me.
I'm trying to answer your question. I'm saying
shut the fuck up, Ernie.
So mean.
I'm trying to say that I believe in the Bible.
Parts.
Yeah, but I'm saying that and God and all that stuff, and
which Bible have you read?
Just the Holy Bible.
Which one?
The Christian Bible.
It's kind of what I'm talking about, Rudy. There's multiple editions of the Bible.
I know, but I'm saying
that's what James English Bible.
So that's what my issue was.
Translated Bible. Have you read?
My issue was.
I'm not saying I have. I'm just saying the fact that there are some of these things that you don't know about doesn't mean that this is a bad thing. You just have to look. I would say take your time.
No, it's good to learn a lot of stuff.
No, but in each of the Bibles that the Bible study groups were reading off of, it all said the same thing.
A lot.
I just don't know which version.
I've literally had Jehovah's Witnesses.
King's James Bible.
It's probably, yeah.
I've had a Jehovah's Witness Bible next to a Catholic Bible, and they almost were identical. or it was a Christian type Bible. Me and my friend went through them like in 8th
Yeah,
grade.
they're very similar.
But my thing is,
usually when
so
you buy the Bible or read the Bible,
what
it
I
says
did
on
not
there.
like, and this is a problem with religion, and you've probably covered this before, Declan, is when we were talking to the guy that was trying to teach me about religion and kind of like teach me like a 3-year-old. I brought up a lot of stuff about the Old Testament, and he's like, no, Jesus came and he changed everything and made the New Testament. So
Yes, that's what differentiates you from a Jew.
and he's like, and that's what, he did. He changed it where we don't have to do this and don't do that. And I said, then how many times can something change then? Granted, they're going to probably say Jesus has to come and change it.
Well,
but I don't like that.
Here's how I'll explain it to you, okay? If you're saying, okay, how did Jesus come along and change all this? God did it a couple times. There's Adam and Eve, but then
Right.
when Abraham? No, fucking, oh my God. Jonah comes along, right? He gets on the boat, a bunch of animals, a big flood, right?
That's Noah.
No.
You said Jonah. Jonah Hill.
Jonah and the whale. It's Noah's Ark. Thank you. When Noah comes along, he gets his family on the boat. He has a bunch of animals on the boat, right? And the whole.
Do we still talk about why the lions didn't eat the zebras
It
and
doesn't
stuff?
fucking matter.
Is it magic?
You always bring it up, and I always tell you it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it does. Because a lion would eat a zebra.
It doesn't matter. It does. There's no boat alive that you could ever craft that would fit all the animals.
So you think it's not true?
I think there was a flood, but I don't necessarily think that story's true. But there are way more important things about that story that are related to symbolism and all this kind of stuff. Don't worry about that. The flood, the reason why God floods the earth is he's like, well,
Another start over.
yeah, it's a do-over. So it's not like there isn't a precedent for
Couldn't he
do-overs
just
in the.
snap his fingers and just make it all instead of a disaster and kill so
Yeah,
many
but
people?
you don't like.
And don't a lot of people believe the dinosaurs died during that flood?
So do you believe? Okay, so if there's a
You didn't
God,
answer me about dinosaurs.
if there's a God, you're asking me to argue from a position I don't like even remotely believe in.
You don't
I
believe in
still
dinosaurs?
believe in evolution. No, I still believe in evolution. I don't believe the Bible's 100% true. I don't believe the Bible's a majority true.
Now that's
I don't
my-
think
okay,
the Bible
real
is
quick.
majority about fucking Jesus.
So I took anthropology.
I-
I'm not the biggest Bible swinger, but I brought up a lot of Bible stuff to him because I was interested. Can you believe in evolution and the Bible?
Yes. So here,
you
I'll
think
explain
can?
it to you.
Okay.
So God made the earth in 7 days, right? He didn't make light till the 5th day, right? So how the fuck do you know how long those first 3 fucking days are, or those first 2 days are, right? Beyond that, how can we not take the entirety of Adam and Eve when God's creating one thing and then another thing? Like the sun was created, and then the planets around the sun were created. He talks about there will be light, there will be earth, all this kind of stuff. It's you can analogize it as, and this is the scientific way of looking at the Bible. You can analogize it as them explaining what evolution and time is in the manner of a book, right? They're not going to take forever to fucking explain it because that's not the origin is not the important. The reason we're here is not the important part.
How's not the beginning as important as
Because
the
it is
end?
important. What is important isn't what happened necessarily. It's how you live your life. That's what the Bible mainly focuses on. That's what a lot of people forget. It's more than just stories. It's how you actually function in your daily life. And you're distracting me by walking away. Because now I gotta pee. So
You just peed.
I have a tiny bladder, and I'll throw it out to everybody else. I've been drinking on this podcast, so
So don't take anything he's saying serious because
No.
he's drunk.
yeah, fuck you and fuck. I'm going.
No, it was the
I'm going DEFCON 0 on the Methodists.
The background TV was really coming through my ears. So
It's just you just have to. And I don't even know majority what I'm talking about, to be real with you. I haven't read the whole Quran. I've read portions of it. I've read a substantial bit of it, but it's not like I've read all
now, do you
of
think
it.
someone that really loves and does things for their religion would die for their religion?
It depends. What is your
9/11? They did it for their God.
Sure, some
Are they strong?
Some believe that's
Do
what-
they believe in their God more than like Rudy believes in God, or
yes.
'Cause, I
If
mean-
you want the hard answer, yes. If
Because
you're willing to die for
they're
God,
gonna die
you believe
for it.
more than the normal person, yes. So, but God does not, at least the Christian God, and I can guarantee, does not require a death oath to him, right? Sure, you should never deny God, but it's not like people weren't practicing Christianity or branches of Christianity in secret, right? God's not like you have to be open about keeping, practicing a religion, right? It's more about keeping it alive, right? It's keeping the word of God alive, right? And that's why Christianity's sustained, because a lot of the important part is the Bible is the word of God, and we have to keep the word of God alive, and right.
Do you think there's something wrong that I feel maybe being raised Jehovah's Witness, but being fearful of religion? And
it depends on how you interpret fear, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, don't you think they rule in fear? This will happen to you if you don't do this.
Do you think your government rules in fear?
Oh, yeah.
Then welcome to the world. Everything's fear-based. I'm sorry. You think we all drive in the white lines because we want to? No, 100%. It's because we know if there's no white lines, we're going to crash into each other. We're scared. Humans will naturally form lines. They'll naturally organize ourselves. We'll naturally do things to keep ourselves safe, right? Mm-hmm. We will, even before sidewalks exist, when horses and buggies were running around, people were walking on the side of the roads. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we will do things in order to keep ourselves safe by nature. So.
But I get that, but I'm saying, like I said, even talking religion's an anxious thing for me, because I think, what if I'm wrong? What if God's going to kill me for this?
Screw it.
Do you have any fear, Rudy, at all from the Bible, I guess? You could, like what I'm trying to get at? Are you scared of what?
Are you scared of Revelations?
Are you scared of the Bible? Things in the Bible? Are you doing wrong?
Well, actually, every day I always worry that, maybe I'm not worthy to go to heaven when I pass. But what I was trying to explain earlier about being, for one, maybe I'm not a Christian. I believe I am, but
I think you could believe whatever.
But this is what I'm trying to. But this is what I'm saying.
If you ran into someone that's technical, they may, like how Declan's
but
informing you about the other stuff, they may get to that. But if you're just a plain old Christian, you believe whatever, that's fine too.
But this is what I'm trying to say is, I do believe in God. I do believe we're created in His image and whatnot. But when it comes to the Bible and churches and all that stuff, I do believe that there is a lot of evil that happens within those groups, and a lot of hate and a lot of judgment, which is against the Bible. So for me, I don't want to be part of that. I want to follow God on my own, is what I'm trying to say. And like I said, maybe.
So is your God the Christian God?
Yes, but I'm saying, hold on.
Why does it have to be the Christian God? Why can't it just be your God? Right?
Well, I don't say the Christian God. I just say God.
Yeah, but is that big G or little G?
What's little G?
Well, if it's big G, it's Christian God. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Like if you say I believe in God, not I believe in Allah, or obviously Jewish God.
But I'm saying that I believe that they're all the same. Yahweh and
just because the
Allah
names. Just because Allah means God, Yahweh means God. Even though these languages
but when you translate it,
before modern English did.
When you translate it, it's the same God. It's just people go about worshiping.
What do you mean when you translate it? When you translate the direct word, when you find text and stuff like that? Because we can talk about
you have to remember, like that guy
religions.
That made me think about all this on the podcast. He said, I sat with rabbis, I talked to Muslims, and then Logan Paul threw at him.
Fuck you. Everybody says that.
Logan Paul was like, well, which God is the real God then? Pick your God right now. He's like, pick him. He's like, I believe my God is the real God. And of course, that's his religion, so he's going to say that because other religions are not going to tell you that they believe that they're all the same gods. Yeah. Is there any religion that believes they're all the same gods?
Yeah. There's groups of people that do, right? You can, like I said, I couldn't figure out the right term for that. There are groups of people that believe, like, all the gods are the same God and all this kind of stuff. The problem is, why would there be three essentially super different interpretations, both time-wise and depiction-wise? Why are there three different depictions of the same God that are so drastically different,
and
or referred differently, or treated differently?
Some believe Jesus is God.
Yes.
Yeah,
most Christians do.
Not Jehovah's Witness. It's his son. He sent his son here.
Yeah, but he's part of the Holy Trinity. The Holy Trinity.
That's mainly Catholic. I thought.
No, that's most Christian.
It's the Son, the Holy Spirit, and
Father, Son, the Holy Ghost.
Sure.
Yeah, they're the same. It's the divine trinity. They're the same thing. God is everything
Right. So
and nothing at all. He can make a burrito even so hot he couldn't eat it.
so can
You never heard that before? That's the classic.
No,
argument.
but I like it. I like that.
so a lot of people think,
well,
but
it's-
for me, it's weird. If God sent himself down as Jesus, it's like the movie Dogma. It's
It's not
like,
a part of him down as Jesus.
so he's still up at.
Well, God's everything. He can do anything. Yeah, welcome to arguing against God.
Yeah.
You just aren't going to win, and that's the truth.
It's
of the
just-
But you know what I was gonna say too is that
matter. Mama say. Sorry.
Using Michael Jackson to get through the night.
what, like for me, and this is gonna sound and
Today, Junior.
He's like, "Come after me, Declan. Whatever I say, my dukes are up."
I'm devil's advocate, so
no,
I'll argue
that's-
against anything or for anything except for Nazism. Can we talk about Kanye now?
Well, I was gonna say I mainly just try to, and Ernie knows this. I try to be a good person. That's
We all try to be good people.
I know,
for
but
the
I'm
most
saying,
part.
but I'm saying like. Just
But are you
even
not selfish?
In what way?
Would you say you're selfish?
I try not to be.
I didn't say you try not to be. Are you selfish?
I can be at times, yes.
I think everybody's selfish.
Exactly.
But it's a
Everybody's
it's a
selfish.
human it's a human
Yeah,
thing.
it's not given to us by God necessarily, right?
No, but I'm
These,
saying
these may be things put into place
But I'm
by
saying-
God, right?
I'm saying my way of showing that I'm a man of God.
So what do you believe is human nature?
My way of showing that I'm a man of God is that I try to just be a good person and
Sure,
actually
but
do,
that-
well, and actually
that's
do
what my
what
question
the,
is
actually
about.
do,
Is what do you mean as a good person?
actually do what the Bible preaches and what Jesus did
So
when he was alive.
So you're against sodomy and gay interactions,
I'm saying
or do you pick? So you pick and choose what you want of the Bible.
not necessarily because and that was another thing with the gay stuff in the Bible. I don't know how to say.
Sorry, you said that weird.
But you are
There's all this
you are
gay shit
picking
in
and
the
choosing.
Bible.
I was gonna say the gayness, but I was like,
You are
no.
picking and choosing if it's a church that's going against.
I need to be careful what you say. The man is a sword.
I know he has one of the swords. That's plastic.
It'll still do some damage. if
It
it's
will.
hard enough.
But you are picking and choosing though because
He's got a brick.
the religion.
Well, we talked about this. Is that
That's why I can't go by any religion because I'm not gonna swear
Ernie, I
myself
was about to say
an alliance
Ernie,
to somewhere. You know.
So wait. You guys are saying that
Ernie,
you hate believers and you hate non-believers and you both want them to.
I
the
never
other one
said I
to
hated
die?
non-believers. I never said that.
He's new to this, isn't he?
I never said that.
He's just baiting us.
I call
What I'm
Ernie
trying to
a racist all the
say-
time because Ernie does hate black people. It's true.
What I'm
Jesus is black. I love him.
Black Jesus.
what I was trying to say is that. Great. Now I lost my train of thought.
I think it's hard for Rudy.
Welcome to this podcast.
Also, I think it's hard for Rudy to go toe to toe with me and you both together because I asked really difficult
Why? You
questions.
calling him a lightweight or something?
No,
You hear
this
that?
wasn't.
He's
the
talking
point-
shit, dude.
Okay, well, the point of me wasn't to go toe to toe with you guys. It was to
we
have a
don't-
conversation.
We don't mean to. It's just I ask pretty hard questions, and Declan plays devil's advocate with everything. So I think it's just tough.
There's
That's why, like I
nothing-
said, I wasn't trying to
nothing-
make it the Rudy fucking podcast.
Nothing should go unanswered. Everything should.
No,
be
but I
pushed.
wasn't-
But you
This wasn't to go against you guys. This was to talk to you guys.
right.
you
So,
know?
but that's why
You know, I don't try and force.
I don't believe anything matters, and I believe we're stuck in a matrix. Really. So
There
you gotta
is
realize
people
you're
that
talking
believe
to
that.
you're talking to a nihilist here who just doesn't care.
people believe
the whole
that
world could
we're
blow
in-
up tomorrow. And I just,
people
I
think we're in
wouldn't-
pods.
Wouldn't give a shit.
Oh no! Now I remember what I was going to say. When it came to homosexuality in the Bible, I had looked up verses that had talked about homosexuality, which I'm going to pull up right now. I have.
Damn, I heard the glasses. Come on,
Hold on.
It's like the anime thing where it like shines.
shines over it.
Hold on. I have it in my notes.
Let me show you my evidence. King.
What's Ace?
Okay. No, I have
He
them.
doesn't have glasses.
I thought he did for some reason.
No. I don't think any of the main characters have glasses. Robin wears glasses sometimes, but who's your favorite? Who's out of Robin or Nami? Who do you like better?
Who the fuck are you talking about?
Robin or Nami? The orange haired chick or the black haired chick?
Oh, in
One Piece.
One Piece,
Yeah.
probably the redhead.
What?
The other girl hasn't been there that much yet.
Yeah, but she's got a sexy cowboy hat.
I got my brother that last year for Christmas. Her figure.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. You got your scripture out.
No, a few of them actually.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Dorime.
So why did you
Dame
real quick? Why did you have these on you already on your notes?
So in
Because he
case-
hates gays that much.
No, I don't hate gay people.
No one's gonna think you hate gay people.
Declan's just fucking with you.
Trust me. The only time we
Okay,
ever
because
got
I just don't want people to get the wrong idea
no,
about me.
the only
Dude,
time
10 people probably listen to this, and it's my mom and my sister.
and
Well, listen,
the
I'm-
only time we ever got shit was because Ernie made himself look like a ableist. Not because I made him out to be one. So you're fine. People know I'm joking. They don't understand I'm joking. They're fucking morons.
Okay, so these are.
And
No,
they-
well, some of your
and
points,
they
some of your
hate
points are not
gays.
joking though, because you make valid points.
But when I'm saying,
But when you're saying
I've-
stuff like that, yes.
Yes.
Go ahead, Rudy. Read
I
your
don't
scriptures.
believe that you guys believe anything bad.
Are we done now?
Wow. All right, Mom. Are we done now?
He's gonna turn the car around.
I'm turning this fucking car around, man.
Okay, so you have the story of Noah and Ham, which was the whole thing of revealing the nakedness. The Ham revealed the nakedness of his father, or saw him naked while he was drunk, and then accused him of like rape. Basically, was just like accusing him of some heinous things. But people tried to use that as a verse that's talking about, oh, it's because it's two men and it's gay and all that, you know, and it's not right. It's homosexuality.
So what's the scripture say of it?
No, that's the. I don't have the scripture in it, but I have the interpretation of
So,
what it should be. Oh,
So if I type, I'm not going to.
No, but I'm saying
if I
no one
typed
ha-
in my phone homophobic Bible verse, you don't think I could find direct Bible verses that are openly homophobic?
that's what I have in my phone.
I know,
That's
but if I did it right now, you don't think I could find any?
no, oh, you absolutely can. But I'm saying
That's what I'm
the
trying to-
stories are.
Sure, but like you can't. Like I'm saying, what me and Ernie are talking about. It's the pick and choosing that both me and Ernie have with issues with.
Okay,
with
no, but
your
I'm
general
bringing up-
casual practice of religion.
I'm
'Cause that's what
bringing
you
up-
are. You're a casual practitioner of religion.
That's what I had problems growing up. Joe's Witness. I didn't like people didn't go full on. I saw so many people break
The
so many
second verse
rules.
was Sodom and Gomorrah, which was talking about rape and attempted rape. Because Sodom and Gomorrah, the city they were in, was full of lust. It was full of all kinds of just
That's why it's called sodomy.
But I'm saying the whole. But what they talk about.
It was David, right? That was King David talking about that. Was it?
No, it wasn't David. It was just talking about the city in general.
Yeah,
Sodom
but I
was-
mean that's when
no, but okay.
I
I'm
think
saying
pretty sure it's the Book of David.
I'm saying from the Bible study groups that I went to when they would bring it up, they bring up everything that was happening, but then they would say, "Oh, but homosexuality." But I'm like, okay, but that's not the only thing that was happening in that city.
Of course, because they picked
but
and choose what
it was
they wanted
everything.
to.
It was rape. It was pedophilia. It was bestiality.
Now, what group was this? Is this?
This
the-
is the-
Sodomites.
Okay, anything negative I'm saying about a group.
this
is the
was your
third-
second group.
No, this is the third group.
Okay.
Because the first time I went to Bible studies was in college. Second time was the good group that helped me understand my faith more. Third one is the more controversial one. But even in that group, I don't hate these people, and there's still some people that were nice to me, and I wish them all the best. I just want to say that. I just want to clear the air on that. But so you have Sodom and Gomorrah, which is about rape and attempted rape, which is why it was burned to the ground because of how heinous their sexual
That's what he
practices.
talks about in what's the movie? Kevin Spacey is a psychopath.
7?
Yeah, he's like talking about the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. He's like running them down like the city because he's killing everybody based
Based
on
off the sins.
Yeah. So, what's in the box?
So then you have the
Hey Peter, what's in the box? Hey Peter.
so then you had the Levitical laws, which I think, from what I gathered, was against cultic prostitution.
Sure.
So there's that. Which
I mean,
but that
I
goes-
would need the. I'm
So you have
less
Levitic-
likely to believe you without the direct to actual Bible.
Okay, Leviticus 18:22 and Leviticus 20:13.
See, am I gonna have to look those up or?
Yeah.
What are those? What I'm trying to get at is what are you trying to show us on these?
No,
That these are the times they brought up.
No,
gay?
that I'm not trying to pick and choose. That I'm saying I looked into the verses that.
Yes, but we're saying that
But I'm trying to. But
that
I'm like, okay,
that
well,
group
what?
went by that, right?
They-
So for you to follow them, they're trying to basically say you got to follow the book. You can't say I don't like this one, I don't like that one, I don't like that one.
No, but I try to break down. Okay, well, if these are. what
Did you
they're-
ever bring it to them, like your issues with it?
About how they felt about gay people?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In their face, in person.
How they take it?
So this
Are
is
you looking at the MLive article?
no. These are notes that I put down from just what I had read, the Levitical laws. But this is what you were saying about what the what had happened. See, what had happened was
See what would happen.
so they would talk about what they called the big umbrella of sin, which is a bunch of things that happen, like that everything that is a sin.
Right.
But then they would pick out homosexuality. And they would try and say that it's just as bad as murder, rape, theft. My argument is it's not the same sport. It's not even the same ballpark when you're bringing up someone who, two consenting adults that just so happen to be the same sex.
Right.
It's not the same.
Would you say it's between them and them?
What do you mean?
Whatever's going on in the bedroom is between whoever's participating. Do you believe that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So God doesn't have any word in that.
Not in the sense of like, but I'm saying in the sense of saying, oh, they should burn in hell because
Eminem.
So what about you shall not lie with male as a woman? It is an abomination. What about that is not homophobic or can be interpreted as not homophobic, as not being strictly. That's Leviticus 18:22.
But it says, the verse that I read said, a man shall not lie with a boy as he would a woman.
Sure, it can refer to multiple things.
It's an about, but I'm
but
saying
it refers specifically. I get that. It says,
But I'm saying that's what people were saying about that is that they're saying that like in the sense of saying, oh, okay, it just means a man shall not lie with another man. That's it. Instead of a man shall not lie with a boy, at least from what I read. And what
every single translation, I have the thing that shows me. Biblia shows you every single translation. It shows you like the New International Version, the King James Version. All of them say, do not practice homosexuality, having sex with another man.
But there were other laws that I had.
It doesn't matter if there's other laws. What I'm saying.
No. I'm saying other like rules that, along with that I had read, that were saying.
Sure, but
I was just about to bring them up. I
don't get what it doesn't matter what you're about to bring up. I don't get what you're talking about when you say there are other rules around that rule. I'm not talking about those
but
other
they're
rules.
saying
those don't matter. I don't care about anything.
No, they
else.
do matter because
no, they don't. They don't. When something literally
you're
says
you're not letting me say what they are though.
It doesn't. But the question
because what I'm about to say really is bad. Like things you should never do. That mainly talk about incest.
But you're proving my point. If something like homosexuality is in the same section as something as pedophilia and as this and as incest and as all these other things, wouldn't that lead you to the idea that maybe they consider homosexuality or God considered homosexuality on the same level of abomination as things such as rape, pedophilia, and
I was just telling him, that
so then
the Bible study.
Then why does that matter? Like the line is in the Bible, so you either don't believe that the Bible is the word of God. If you basically, if you believe God's homophobic, I can understand where you're coming from because you believe the word in the Bible. Because if the words in the Bible are the word of God, and God says, "Thou shalt not lay, man shall not lay with another man." I was going to
go more into what do you call it? The conversations I was having with these people, because that's what Ernie was asking me. Like, what were the conversations and what was being said? Like, what was I saying? You know, that would because I told him I
assume,
but I'm not understanding your argument from their position. If I'm sitting in their position and you're like, well, there's all these other laws, so I'm not understanding why any of those laws matter. And just explaining to me the laws is not what I'm asking for. I'm asking for you to literally tell me what these other laws have to do with this law being there. Because what we're talking about is I asked you if I could just look up and find a Bible verse that specifically targets homosexuality as being something that is bad. I found a Bible verse. It's not about what's above it, about what's below it. We can argue about that all day. It doesn't have anything to do with the context of it.
I'm saying what comes after that is that they were saying, pretty much saying not to commit incest. Saying
but
like,
what does that have to do with the homosexuality thing? Are you telling me that because they mention incest and rape, that somehow homosexuality is less important than those.
What do you mean?
Are they the same sin?
Why does it
If you
matter
sin
what's
as a
referenced after it? Why does that even matter?
If they believe,
If they talk more about what's referenced after that, then obviously they're not.
That's not an argument. That's not even a position. Just because they talk more about one thing or another thing doesn't really mean whether that thing exists in there or not. We're not talking about whether they were like, because obviously there are a million other reasons why rape historically would have been more dangerous than homosexuality. Like if they were doing it specifically
Yes.
from a historical standpoint. Right. So of course they're going to bring that up, you know? But the Bible talks about taxation more than it talks about rape. Does that mean taxation is a dealing with either not paying your due to the church or not paying your rendering onto Caesar what is Caesar's? All that stuff is more of a sin than rape? No. Everybody say if you rape somebody, that's more of a sin than if you don't pay your taxes, right? But taxation gets referenced first. It doesn't matter how much what gets referenced and what's level of what. It's about what we as a morality system, or even as what God dictates before us, exists. And one of the parts of the morality system God lays forth in the Bible is that man shall not lay with man as he shall lay with woman. It is an abomination. It is literally multiply translated as abomination.
But in the original Hebrew text, the word that they use is arson koitai, which is a male pervert, basically referring to a male pedophile.
So our English, and this is one of my biggest gripes, people that bring up the Hebrew definition.
But I'm
you.
sa- but it- but
stop,
if-
stop. Have you read it in Hebrew?
I haven't read it in Hebrew.
Then
but
I
I'm-
don't talk to me about it because Hebrew existed before English did. It's impossible for you to tell me.
But I'm
that
saying
or tell me that I should give a shit about the English translation of this. If I could speak Hebrew and we could speak Hebrew, we could have this conversation. But because this was written in a language that was here long before English is, I don't give a shit what the English translation is. I just don't. Since I don't have.
but
the
even if
Hebrew
that was
background.
the Hebrew translation, it doesn't change much of it.
The thing is, the Hebrew translation, like I said, it exists beforehand. I know,
but what he
context
said, what it is,
of what Hebrew,
it doesn't. To me, doesn't change.
It's still man lie with man.
Yes,
It's
yes.
still homophobic.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe him just saying that the perverse man laying with
Then it's assuming because it doesn't.
the perverse man laying with the man or whatever. It's still the same thing.
Yeah, it's a man laying with a man. It's not
it's
like
still
it's
saying that.
It's maybe equating that if you're a
But-
man
and
laying with
but
another
I'm
man,
saying
you're
from people who do speak the Hebrew language that have dissected the original Hebrew text.
Okay, I hate to do this to you. Source.
Where'd
you read this? Where'd you hear this? Who did you hear it from?
I don't remember exactly.
That's what. Then it doesn't. Sorry, Rudy. It just doesn't matter.
So I think the problem is, and what we're getting to is, if you're gonna be a Christian, you have to follow the Bible. If you're gonna
if you're gonna
you
say
don't, if you don't like that verse or this verse and that verse, you have a bunch listed. Then how do you become a full-on person?
I was listening. I was just listing the Bible verses
that you don't like, right?
No, that we're talking about homosexuality.
Do you agree with them?
Supposedly.
Do you agree with them?
I was explaining what they.
Okay.
were
Do
supposed to
you
translate.
agree with them? I don't care about you explaining it.
No, what they translate into.
My whole thing is, you don't want to follow the Bible to a T, which is fine. I don't give a fuck. But that's why I can't commit to a religion, because if I commit just like to my wife, there's no one else but my wife. If I commit to a religion, I got to go all the way with it.
It doesn't mean anything.
So
if it doesn't have some structure.
So
behind
for
it.
me, if it doesn't have a fucking grounded ground, a big building house on it, a structure, everything on it for me to feel right. That's why it's so hard for me. This is why I like talking about religion, even though it makes me anxious, it makes me fearful, because at the end of the day, when I die, I don't know what's going to happen. It scares me. God might be at the fucking doors, be like, fuck you, you fucked up. And if that's the case, that's an asshole
I think
God.
it's Abraham.
That's an asshole God, by the way. If for all the nice, I try to be a good person, hard as I can. And there are bad things I do, of course. I touch my wiener. I had sex with my wife before getting married. There's a lot of stuff. But if that's the worst and you let rapists go in because they go and bow down and get to be reborn again, that's just bullshit. That's just bullshit to me.
Okay, that last part had nothing to do with the prayer. I'm with you until you brought up the rapist part. Just because some rapists are born again Christians doesn't mean you have to destroy the entirety of Christianity.
No, but
Act
there's
like
people
everybody.
that say, but what they say,
are people.
Jesus died for our sins. So there's people that sin and they're like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's the mentality. I'm sure if you talk to a normal
Go get
person,
some-
they'd be like, fuck it. Yeah, this guy just raped somebody, but it's okay. It's all forgiven. Now he's Christian. We'll just let him go and all
Dude,
this shit.
there's a lot of people that let shit go. There
Prove
is.
it. Prove it. Prove it.
Because
I don't. No. I'm gonna root at you. I don't fucking want to hear about. Oh, there's all these people. Prove it to me.
Okay.
Prove it.
I'll
find me
I'll
a bunch
find
of people
you-
that will blatantly disregard somebody's actions in their totality in order to give them a free
I mean,
ride because they're born again. I'm not
Well, it's
talking
not
about
even
somebody-
born again sometimes. Look at people like in politics, like Donald Trump, all the bad he's done. People think he's the best Christian. They said he's the next coming of God.
Nobody says that. No, see, you're not.
I've watched people get interviewed about it.
Which interviews? And what people?
Just people on
Just
Fox,
random,
CNN. Yeah.
random people.
Yeah, just people outside.
Just
of
random
his-
people.
Yes.
like people in the streets,
yeah, just people that he interviewed.
like on the streets,
Sure.
not like normal people, right?
I don't know what you consider normal or not normal.
Are they people that are on Fox News regularly that are saying he's the guy? Or are they picking some random?
Trump MAGA fans?
So they're just picking up random civilians off the street that are crazy.
We don't know that. I don't know if they're crazy or not. That's my whole point. Is
You don't. Okay,
we'll-
so
we'll let-
wait. Time out. Somebody says in your mind. Somebody says Trump is the second coming of Christ is not crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What are you talking about?
But people believe these things. These are the ones that let things slide.
Those people are crazy. 'Cause
Okay,
normal people
but
don't
it
believe
happens.
in
You said
that.
you needed proof, and people do that. They let
So give
things
me the
slide.
proof.
I just told you. You could.
I
go
don't care
and
what
watch
you
any of
tell
it.
me.
Oh yeah.
that's
Oy vey.
My problem isn't that you don't have the source. My problem is that you're making these grandiose, overarching statements without any source.
I just think people like forgive and they
And
let
that's
it
beautiful.
go.
It's beautiful that you think that. But I just don't
prick.
care.
Fucking prick. Were you gonna say something, Brady?
No.
He threw away his blade. He felt he dishonored himself, so he gave him the Bushido code.
He bushidoed.
He seppuku'd.
No, I don't feel like I dishonored myself. I mean, I still.
No,
I still have-
He's joking.
I just mean that because you throw the sword away. I didn't mean that because you literally thought you dishonored yourself.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
wasn't
think-
talking about your religion. He was just saying because you threw the sword down.
He's like, I will not fight. Pshing. I refuse.
Well, I'm saying the whole thing is I still have my morals that I'm gonna go by.
But I don't know what.
Welcome to my world. That's why they call me agnostic.
Then you're agnostic, Rudy. I'm sorry.
Because
Because if you're not sure what you believe,
he believes.
No, I know what I believe. I'm just saying
then why does
I
that have to
still
do with the
have-
Bible? It's you don't believe in the Christian God, so don't call yourself a Christian.
Because you don't.
I'm a Christian.
Fig-
I'm a Christian.
Because you don't believe in all the words
I'm a
of the
fish.
Bible.
I just decided I'm a fish, so I'm a fish.
Because you
Okay,
don't.
cool, guys?
No.
Because you don't believe in all the words of the Bible. That's what he's saying.
I don't live in a world where we just like.
That's why I said
There
I
are no
can't-
evidence
I
for
couldn't
anything.
commit
Okay, there's
to
other Christians that I have talked to that also don't believe that.
Sure. And I will, if you bring them here, I'll tell them to their faces that they're not real Christians. Because that's just not how it works. I don't get to be. I've never been to a mosque. I can't just start calling myself Islamic, Muslim. I can't just do that. That's just not something I can do. Right? Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. You're almost spitting in the face of Christianity, if I can put it bluntly. If you say,
No, I
can be.
I have, yeah. In the past, I have.
Then
You do now, though.
Then you're-
because you spit.
you're
You would
not
spit at them for being mean to gays and stuff. I would back you for spitting at
then
them.
why choose to be part of them?
Dude, I left. That's the
Then
whole,
you're not Christian.
Listen, that's the whole point of why I left the Bible studies group. That was one of the big reasons, is because of that. And then like the fact that they fucking would come at me sideways for sticking up for gay people and sticking up for.
What happened on?
Wait. If I said I believe in the Egyptian gods, right?
Uh-huh.
And I believe in the Christian God, right?
Sure.
I'm still and I call myself a Christian. Is that okay? Even though a core tenet of the Bible is you only believe in one God. Doesn't that violation of that core thing not make you part of
It's
that
not
group?
like you said earlier. It's not up to me. It's up to.
See, now you can't use it a cop out.
No,
we're not
no.
talking about judging in front of the pearly gates, homie. We're talking about what you believe
No, but
in
that's
this functional
but that's-
physical
but
realm.
That's what I.
Then
believe.
none of it matters.
But that's what I believe, is that I can't say, "Oh, that's not okay. You can't do that."
But that's what
You
the
know.
church would tell him.
No, the church would tell him that. I'm saying him and I would both say it's not up to us. It's up to God. if that's okay. Or
But that
not.
wouldn't make
The
you.
problem is you
that
don't
wouldn't
have
make
a
you.
structure around that.
That wouldn't make you a
You
Christian,
can't. The
though.
fact you cannot tell
Okay,
me.
but if someone told you that, wouldn't you say? And they're like, "Is that okay?" Wouldn't you be like,
What do you
"It's not
mean?
up to me"?
What
What
do you
you just asked me. If someone came and asked you, "Hey, Declan, I believe in God, but I do believe in Egyptian gods and yada yada."
I
yada.
tell them they're not a Christian. If they want to, even if they
No, but and then they go, "Is that okay?" Wouldn't you say, "It's not up to me"? Like,
I would say
he's
I would
not
say
going to be offended
yes.
by it if they said,
But
"Does
if
that
they
make me
said-
a Christian or not?" He would say, "That doesn't make you a Christian."
Bingo. I don't get to run around and say
I don't give a fuck what you do.
Allah's not a real God, but I believe in all the beliefs that Muhammad teaches. I'm Muslim. That's not how that works.
This is
It's
the
just not.
bottom line of what I pulled up today.
There are
Is about having
buy-ins.
respect about everybody's religion. You let them believe like what you just said. I don't give a fuck if he sits there and says, "I believe in God" or this.
But there was a lot more
we're
I was gonna-
but we're able to say, "No, but you're not a
Don't
Christian."
don't. If you're a person that doesn't care, like you don't want to disrespect Muslims, right?
no, absolutely.
So you never feign to be a Muslim, right?
wait. What?
You would never do what I said, where you would believe in everything Islam believes, but then not believe in. You think if you believe in all the tenets of Islam, but you don't believe Allah is real, is a good thing that makes you a Muslim? You think that makes you a Muslim?
I'm kind of confused by your question. Like, basically,
If you believed in the tenets of what the Quran teaches, but you don't believe that Allah is real, like you believe it's
That wouldn't make you Muslim.
would that make you Muslim?
No.
And if you think it's okay if that person considers themselves Muslim?
No.
it wouldn't make sense. No.
That's what I'm talking about with the Christianity thing. Is Christianity, because it's like one of the most popular religions in the world, gets to be all loosey goosey interpreted. I'm a Christian. If you don't know what you're talking about, I'm sorry. Just shut up. It's the bottom line. Do your research. Go home. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about anybody that wants to talk in this field, and I can even reflect this upon myself. Right. That's why I don't go into religious groups and have conversations with big religious people
Because you don't know everything.
Yeah, I don't. Right. Now I plan to
And
learn.
I don't either.
But then don't go around calling yourself a Christian until you figure that out. I call myself a deist because I figured out that I believe this core tenet of deism makes the most sense to me.
And
when a religious person asks me, a theologian asks me, "Hey, what do you believe?" I can be like, "I'm a deist," and I can clearly explain to them that. But if you say I'm a Christian, but I don't believe in this, and I believe in this, and this, and these are all core tenets that go around the Christian belief, they're gonna be like, that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm just sorry, it doesn't.
But no, I say I'm a Christian, but I'm saying.
So
but-
why is it more okay for you to say you're a Christian
but
than
I'm
that person to
saying-
say they're Muslim? Like, why is that more okay for you to do?
No, because I believe in God, and I do believe.
A lot of people believe in God.
but
though.
that's not the
Doesn't
most
mean-
important thing about
No,
it.
but I'm saying I still.
Lutheranism teaches that a
But I'm saying
core
I still
tenet. So be a
have-
Lutheran. Learn about Lutheranism. Learn
I'm
about
just saying my
beliefs.
morals as a man haven't changed, because a lot of them they become Christian, and then you see the switch. They start, judging people. They become homophobic and all that stuff.
How much? What religious groups? Catholics?
Well, them Christians.
Christians? You can't just. That's what I mean. I grew up in a Lutheran church. We never discussed homophobia or anything. It was never even brought up. It was never referenced. Nobody ever talked about it because it's not a core tenet of what Lutheranism teaches. Lutheranism, as a core tenet, doesn't teach.
But there
all these
is certain
nitty-gritty
Christian
things. But
group.
there are exactly right. But then you have to figure out what denominations mean, what denomination you are, why there are.
Now, do
denominations.
Lutherans have a lot against gay people?
Like I said, it's not a core tenet of the belief system. Sexual repression is more important in other branches. The Lutheranism has a weight of sin, so some sin weighs more than other sin, and what is important isn't
Then
how
there's
you go to the church to. You
then
don't,
there's
paying
religions
the
that have
church
sins that
isn't
are
going
all
to
the
save your
same.
sin. Talking to your priest isn't going to save your sin. What's going to save your sin is your personal relationship with God and what you decide to do with that. But that's a core tenet of Lutheranism. So learn about that, right? There are denominations that would fit exactly what you're thinking, Rudy, that I think you would find a perfect community in. But you have to
So based
do
off of,
that.
So based off of you knowing me and my morals and my journey and all that stuff, like everything that you've heard, you said so. What category do you think I would be under?
You're a Protestant. You're not an Orthodox. You're not a Catholic. So So Christianity breaks up into three.
But I'm saying, let's say,
you hear me out real quick.
No, I'm saying, like, if I still believe in the angels and heaven and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You're saying I'd be Protestant, correct?
Okay.
Just yes or no, and then continue. What
You
were
could
gonna
be
say.
any branch of Christianity if you believe in angels and all that stuff. You could be. If that's like the bottom line of what you're requiring, then sure, you could be any of those.
But you said
believing in God and in angels and all that stuff is the baseline for what category, you could be any of those.
But you're saying I'm Protestant, and then just say why.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
I'm asking.
Do you know what Protestant is?
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm asking.
So, what was it? It was 13th century, I think. The Catholic Church, in order to fuel money for a redo of the entirety of the Vatican, they attempted to sell basically severance time out of purgatory. You know what purgatory is?
I forget the definition. But
Limbo and purgatory are the space between heaven and hell. It's where it's where you're considered to work
like
off,
limbo.
Yes, it's where you're considered to work off minor sins. You exist there. Well, limbo is an aspect of it. It's really complicated. It's technically not real. It doesn't. It's not mentioned in the Bible at any point. I think it's a concept made up in Dante's Inferno. A lot of very common Christian things aren't Christian. They're in Dante's Inferno, which is another thing I would recommend you go read.
No, I know Dante's Inferno.
Have you read it?
Yes,
I played the video game.
No.
That's
I've
probably
actually read Dante's Inferno. Yes.
That's my thought.
Very interesting story.
You were talking about what
a Protestant is.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So Protestantism came along when everybody was like, "Well, it's really lame that you're doing this," and some guy named Martin Luther decided to nail 99 tenets onto his church, and Luther essentially said, "These are all the issues of the church, and you can go and read the 99. What were they? 98 tests?
99 problems.
No, 99. Oh my god,
99 balloons.
it's so long. I can't remember. It's the 99 something. It's fucking killing me right
99 cent store.
now. It's not the commandments. It's the 99.
Tenets?
No arguments.
Regardless.
They were like all things he denounced the church for. And through that, he created this explosion in free thinking within the church that created all these denominations, right?
So what makes it what they believe in?
So Lutheranism, if you look at the 99, whatever the statements, whatever the fuck they're fucking called, they talk about like giving to the church is not important. Your relationship to the church is not important in relationship to God. It says all the things, and these become core tenets in the religion of Lutheranism, and eventually in Anglicanism, and like you can find all the origins of all these different branches of churches.
So what's the core belief of a Protestant?
Is the focusing of the personal relationship with God versus the communal relationship with God, but you still have the communal structure because somebody's got to teach you how to process your personal relationship with God. But it's I don't want to say it's more it's basically more liberal Christianity. It's a little bit more freedom.
Like you're more open-minded.
If you can't pay the church, you're not required to pay the church.
But I'm saying
pastors can still marry. There are many requirements that the not necessarily the Bible, but the Catholic Church had placed on the Christian religion.
But you're saying that Protestants are more open-minded group.
Yes, but there are like I said, 50 some odd main.
This is Protestantism is a branch of Christianity that follows the theological tenets of the Protestant Reformation, a movement that began seeking to reform a Catholic Church from within the 16th century against what its followers perceived to be growing errors, abuses, and I can't say that, discrepancies. Boy, do I feel stupid.
I didn't even look at the word. I just figured it out.
Discrepancies within it. So basically, they pointed out.
How do you spell it, just so I can put it on my phone?
So they basically.
It's the Great Reformation.
They were following the church, but then they started
the Catholic Church.
The Catholic Church.
There were two branches of Christianity at the time. There were Eastern Orthodox, and there was the Catholic Church.
But they started to do what churches don't really like you to do, is to pick out things that were not good in the Bible.
Well, because with a big structure, with a lot of power, comes a lot of corruption, and people started not to get very happy about that. They didn't like the idea that. Like Luther literally said, how fucking dare the Pope go around and say that he can affect God's sentences on you.
Right, and that's the
Like
problem.
the Pope is the word of God, not God himself.
Like I said, there's a thing where a lot of
That's
people
what gets me with Catholicism.
People-
So this
Fuck
is-
the Pope.
people
So this
believe
is
there
what-
should be no one in between you and God.
Methodists.
So this is what I
Latter-day
pulled up
Saints.
from Google.
The Googs.
The Google. Yeah. It was pretty much saying that Protestantism. How the hell am I going to say I'm one of these and I can't even say the name? How do you say it? Protestantism.
Protestantism.
Okay, thank you.
You're like focusing on the syllables too much. You just got to run through the word. A lot of hard words pronounced. You just got to go through it. Discrepancy.
I'll keep that in mind. Or originated in the Reformation of the 16th century in Christian Europe, and Protestants have been said to share three basic convictions. The Bible is the ultimate authority in matters of religious truth. Human beings are saved only by God's grace. It says, i.e., unearned gift. I don't know what that means.
Etc.
Oh, and
It's not an unearned gift.
all Christians are priests. And then, damn it, I was
A Christian is on the equal level of priest.
all Christians are
Right.
priests, are able to intercede with God on behalf of others and themselves, able to bear witness,
And that would
able to
make,
confess their sins.
Arnie,
and
are
be
you willing to
forgiven.
bear witness?
what?
Will you bear witness,
Well, I think that's
Mr.
a-
Booze?
a way people
Mr.
should look at things. Is no one should be above you to
Mr. B double O.
be above you to talk to God. It should be you.
Well,
You got a lot of thinking to do.
It's
Gotta
just
start finding. Gotta
it's
start
just
finding.
something to toy around with.
no. I was gonna say maybe Declan's right. Maybe I am a Protestant.
I don't think you're 100% Christian because, like I said, you go against a lot of stuff in the Bible, but that's okay. Because again, there's good things.
Go
and there's
home and
bad.
type either Christian
But that's-
family tree, where it'll show you the exact
but
family
is,
tree.
is
of
a
when
Protestant? Is a Protestant? Is it a type of Christian or is it?
imagine like I'm a tree. Okay,
I'm just
I'm
asking.
gonna explain to you.
Okay.
Fucking relax, Rudy. Okay, I need you to calm down. You're at
Are
a
you
fucking.
yelling me? All I
You're at a
did was
fucking
care.
11. I need you at like a fucking 2. Okay, so I'm a tree, right? I'm Christianity, right?
Yes.
We have Catholicism.
Yes.
We have Eastern Orthodoxy.
So that's on his big right hand and his big left
These are
hand.
huge branches. These aren't like twigs, right? Then we have a third branch that springs out of nowhere called Protestantism. That's got a bunch of tiny little twigs growing off of it. All those twigs are the multitude branches of Protestantism. J-Dubs come later in history than the Catholics. They are considered Protestants. Latter-day Saints, Mormons are considered Protestants. They come way later than a lot of other. Lutheranism, Methodist, Anglicanism, and all these have different origins of why they sprouted up or what. I would just say, literally go online, look that shit up, and read the origins of these different religions, when they were created, why they were created, and so on and so forth. I think the ones that'll speak most to you were Methodism and Lutheranism. Methodists are weird because they go to church on Saturday.
Is that the sundown?
Isn't that the Seventh Day Adventist or is that? And then
But there's the other.
what was the other one that you brought up? You said
No, wait, you're right. Seventh-day Adventists are the Saturday ones. Methodists are the other.
What's a Methodist?
Bush was a Methodist. I don't know much about Methodists.
There's one. What's the one with the sun goes down on Saturday night? They can't go out.
That's Judaism. That's the Sabbath.
What was the kids? The kids in our that played Magic with us. They were Mormon, correct? And they couldn't go out on Sundays.
Okay, yeah, Methodists. They say their actions speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Is it,
It's
so
more about practicing through your actions. And
so
yeah.
so I was gonna say that's another thing. That's actually a very core belief I have.
Do
is-
some reading.
Well, no, I'm
I know, but
okay, no,
I don't want to.
Declan, I'm siding with you. I'm saying.
What's
that's
his middle name?
Joseph
What's your last name?
Lopez.
Rudy Joseph Lopez.
You
Well,
sound like my mom right now.
Yeah, damn fucking straight, okay?
But I'm a junior, so you got to add that part. Rudy Joseph Lopez Jr.
Like Ernest Enriquez Jr.?
Yeah,
What's your middle name?
I've told
Daniel,
you,
right?
I'll say I've told you too
It's
many
the
times.
stupidest fucking middle name ever.
Talk to my dad. That's his middle name.
And that's Logan's middle name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Logan Daniel Enriquez.
Mhm.
That's dope.
Mine's M.
He's a D, dog.
My middle name.
That's a
No,
vagina you just
what I
made
was
with
trying
your
to-
fingers.
I
What
did
I
that to my
was-
sister. I was like, hey, Maddie, you know what a diamond is upside down?
A vagina.
What I was trying to say is, I actually, for me personally, that's a big core belief I have. Is just trying to be the best person I can be.
It's all about me with this guy. Sorry. I'm listening. But no, I get you, Rudy.
I think
I'm trying
again,
not to be a selfish person, but
I
saying
think we all, if you're a good person, you should just be a fucking
What does
good
it mean to be a
person.
good person? Ernest. Why don't you fucking describe that? for
Trying
me?
not to
give me
do-
your
No,
but
99 tenets of what it means to be a
Trying
good
to
person.
not
Listen,
be bad.
I do-
mean,
What does bad mean? Who are you to want to decide what good or bad
the
is?
commandments and the laws.
And I'm the game.
It's getting to that point.
what I'm trying to say.
Go
is-
ahead, because we're getting close to wrapping it up. Go ahead.
Oh, that I a big core in my belief, which I thought was Christianity, but I guess I'm wrong.
Well, it is Christianity. It's just Christianity is a very, very.
It's a vague term.
It's a very amorphous thing.
Okay. But now, seeing that I'm more Protestant or Methodist, a big core in my belief is just trying to be a good person through God, not through God, but basically just trying to be a good person in general, and not brag, and not try and brag about the good things you do. Just
Try just popping into a church one of these times. Just pop into a Methodist church. There's plenty of them around Sacramento. Pop into a Lutheran church. Just peek your head in. You don't even stay for the whole thing. Just on a Sunday, be like, I'm gonna get up.
But I'm saying
Drink
like
some coffee, get my pickup truck, because I assume you have a pickup truck.
No, I have a Honda.
With his oranges in the back of it, is that where you're going?
No.
Is it because I have a beard and have a flannel?
Yep.
All right, you got me. I hate Mexicans.
Yep.
There, I said it.
No, I don't think you hate Mexicans. But
I don't need you to fucking white knight for me.
I know. Don't. He's an evil person.
I'm going DEFCON 2 on Mexicans.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that's actually been a big core in my belief is just be a good person. And,
No, I got it. You said it like 15 times. I'm joking with you.
Keep fucking interrupting me.
Welcome to a podcast, man.
We're running you through the ringer. Okay, we're welcoming you to the real world. We're
I've been introduced to the real world.
I don't know if anybody's ever
man.
sat you down and conflicted you can
Talk to you about
really
the birds
talk
and
to
the
you about
bees.
not about
No, actually, no. But
about your beliefs.
what I was actually gonna get into with this
And I don't even mean
podcast,
your religious beliefs. I mean beliefs. in general.
but since we don't have time, I was gonna talk about
bitches, man.
what I was going to talk about is the issues that I had, like the conversations I had with these certain Christians that turned out to be very hateful towards certain groups of people.
Yeah.
And like with certain people, they didn't have a lot of knowledge to back up with what they were saying. So there was that too. But I also would say it was
Sure, but you can't. I'm just.
no, but I would say
Nobody can sit here and say that there aren't bad things in the Bible. It's just not true.
No, I'm not. No, I agree. But I'm saying what I'm trying to say is they would say all this thing about love this, love that. And I say, yeah, but you're preaching this, but what you're saying
And doing.
and doing is totally different. You're saying, oh, I love you with all my heart, this and that.
Do you get that also comes from you don't have a standard to hold them to, right? Because you don't know what they could just say I'm Christian, right? And this is another thing. Is just being a Christian doesn't have a standard to be held to, right? I could be like, I'm gonna go way extreme. I could be like my interpretation of the Bible says it's cool to rape kids, so I just rape kids all the time, right? That's not good. It doesn't matter. Like your interpretation isn't important. It's this. You need standards to be held to in order for any of that to mean anything, right? If there weren't contests, sports wouldn't mean anything, right? If people didn't achieve anything, none of this would mean anything, right? We have to provide meaning to something, and part of that meaning is having a structured outlook on what it already is. Bitch.
And on that note, I'll get us to sign off. We had a
You
fun,
walk a flock of
long 2 hours of
I want to go
discussing.
home.
We're gonna.
There's some
pussy's
things I still didn't get to
wet.
say, but
We'll come back to it. We'll get back to it another
We'll
day.
bring someone else who hates religious people on, other than me.
You don't hate. You have.
so
your
you hate
own.
me?
I hate, not because you're religious.
He has hate flowing.
I
in his
loathe
heart.
you, Rudy.
What's that mean?
Loathe? How you not know what loathe means?
How do you
bad
not
as-
know how to say
it's
discrepancy,
been- okay,
homie?
It's
You're
been a
right.
while since I've been in school. Okay.
Yeah, but there's just words I feel like you should know.
Like discrepancy?
Yeah, that was me trying to read it, but I won't. My glasses are off, and I have to have it really close. And I was trying to look. It looked like
Iridocyclitis.
it looked like it said kaleidoscope.
Eczema? Spell eczema.
E X Zema.
I had no fucking clue.
You're an asshole.
Do I look like I know? Do I look?
Do I look like a
And a guy do a thing like that to a kid like you? I didn't realize that was where you're going.
And that is it.
You look like
Make
a
sure you like, subscribe, share for more of these long talks.
Shut
You'll
up.
learn something
Stick it
about
right in their
yourself.
pussy.
You'll learn some stuff about yourself. I'm definitely going to point this to a lot of people to listen to be like, listen
Just
to
stick it up their
Declan.
pussies?
Yeah, to Declan.
Listen to the end when Declan tells you to stick it up your pussy.
Like, hi, Mom. And, like, listen to this and feel free to tell us that you want us to do a follow-up. And you could catch it on anywhere podcasts are found. And
If you thought I
upload
was
them.
wrong, you can go fuck yourself.
And you are wrong. And you could go on YouTube to see it.
Bullshit. I'll kill you.
Make sure you keep up with Best There Is podcast. We're getting the other one ready to go for December, but we'll have one more for the end of the year, picking out our favorite things at the end of the year. And that will do it. So thank you guys. Thank you,
And a
Rudy.
happy holidays
Thank
from
you.
your crew at Best There Is Entertainment.
Thank you, Declan. Bye.
See you, suckers.